rolling.
Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 173.
Good.
I'm always kind of shocked at the number. It makes me feel good. It's been it's been a little over 6 years.
It's like 26 shows a year?
We're doing 2 a month now. So this is 173 of the Jiu Jitsu Dummies podcast, brought to you by Black Belt Digital Marketing. Anything you need to build your business on or offline. It's website design, SEO, Google Ads, graphic design, printing. We can absolutely help. Check us out at Black Belt Digital Marketing on Instagram or our website, which is bbdigitalmarketing.com. Request a free review of your online presence today. We are local marketing specialists, okay? We're also brought to you by academysafe.org. Academy Safe is a nonprofit whose mission is to help clean up the martial arts by advocating for background checks, U.S. Center for Safe Sport certifications, and concussion training for all coaches and staff members at every academy throughout the United States, and we're also doing Canada at the same pricing. I'm the founder and executive director of Academy Safe. Rob Ingram, the founder of McDojo Life. Everybody knows those funny videos that we see, the funny and then the serious ones too. He's the executive VP, and together we are completely changing the way people find and vet martial arts academies by providing a website registry listing Academy Safe accredited martial arts academies throughout the United States and Canada who have met our strict 8-point standards. Ben is got one thing outstanding.
1 unit left for
He's got one thing, a CPR certificate, CPR first aid, AED certificate for one of his guys. And then he is our third fully accredited academy in Florida.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Awesome.
So along with that, we ask that you have a defibrillator on premises, right? Kind of, again, these are things that we're asking people to do, and they're like, well, AEDs are expensive. You're supposed to be doing this already.
Correct.
Hold on. Real quick question, though. As a police officer, can you use your taser as an AED?
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. I didn't think so either.
Zap, zap.
I wouldn't recommend it.
So we want them to have a defibrillator, obviously be trained on that defibrillator, so be certified in first aid, CPR, and the defibrillator itself. Security cameras, also very important. We verify the owners, coaches, and staff belt ranks and their lineage. Most of the time, you're promoting your guys, so lineage is pretty easy in a lot of cases, at least for staff. For jiu-jitsu, we have used Belt Checker, which was down the last time I looked at it. I don't know if they're upgrading or something.
It's all that Academy Safe traffic.
Yeah. And then we verify the academy or their business insurance, right? So, we're trying to do the right thing here and making sure that people or academy owners are holding themselves to a higher standard. And if you need to understand why, if you listen to the podcast, you know why, but just do a little Googling about martial arts academies and bad actors or bad coaches, and it'll fill you in. Check out jujitsudummies.shop if you like the hat, right? This is the Friends themed hat. Got a couple other colors that I've got to add to the website, so we've got those as well. Use code JJD for, I think we have 15% off. So, yeah. So that's it on the show. Let's give a quick shout out to Flow and Roll. Actually, let me also say on Academy Safe, if you're joining, use code JJD5, but spell out 5, JJDFIVE. During the checkout, you get a couple dollars off your membership. Thank you to Flow and Roll. Hands down, the best custom gi and no-gi gear in the business. Visit them on Instagram at flow_n_roll. Check out the custom designs that they've created for academies and competitors across the country. So, if you are competing in a WNO or you're in Fight to Win,
do you know
and you just want to put your stuff on your kit, you can he'll do the one-off for you. So he'll put the logos. He'll have the logos printed, so you can just order one and get it for you. And
awesome.
It's a cool deal. A lot of, he's got a huge kids following. There are a lot of kids that are competitive. There's kids, they're pros. There are, jiu-jitsu, pros at 10, 11, even younger than that, right?
Wild,
He's so many. I know a lot of kids that do homeschooling just so that they could do more jiu-jitsu.
That's crazy.
Especially when the father, the parent is also the owner of the gym, and then they do the homeschooling. It's crazy.
If only. It's a dream.
So again, Flow and Roll. Check them out at flowandroll.com. Get 20% off your online order with code JJD. We used to talk about the pre-order program. You can always ask about his pre-order program. If you're a new gym owner, just ask him. I'm not going to go into a huge explanation, but if you need some help getting your gear for your own academy, but you don't have $5,000, $10,000 to lay out for shorts, rash guards, the gis, the belts, give him a call. He has a really cool way of helping you out. I am Milton Campus. I'm a black belt training out of Coral Springs, BJJ, in Coral Springs, Florida. We got Ben behind the camera.
Yo.
You go, woohoo!
What's up, everybody?
We have some other guests. That's Daniel over there. Daniel's been with us a few times. What's up, Daniel?
Hello.
Look at Ben's and Daniels. It's Ben's and Daniels.
That's all you
And our new friend is who?
Eric. This is Eric.
Eric, what's up, Eric? All right. Remind Ben to take some pictures and video for me before the end. We got Ben Stark on co-hosting duties.
Hi.
Another Ben. Go ahead and why don't you give yourself a little shout out. How's it going with Fight Tape?
Fight Tape is going well. I don't know if you can see it, but it's here. It's fantastic. We are the absolute best in Cutman and Corner gauze and tape. We produce for the people, by the people, at prices better than the big brands.
It's FUBU. It's FUBU.
I guess.
FUBU for us, by us.
For Cutman, by Cut.
FUBU Fight Tape. We're going to rename it.
Oh, God. Now,
We're getting sued.
I bought a website and everything.
Send all lawsuits to MMA Coach Ben at Gmail.
Please don't. Please don't. You can keep them to yourself.
Go ahead, finish. I interrupted your shout out.
No, you're all
Give them all
good.
the details, man.
Hey, fighttape.us has the absolute best stuff in fight-oriented gauze and tape supply. Now, remember, jiu-jitsu people, I have bad fingers. You have bad fingers. This is for you. You are fighting, are you not? It's not match tape. It's fight tape.
Yep.
Go to fighttape.us to get yours.
And you're going to be setting up a coupon code
For
the podcast.
JJD.
JJD.
I will.
Can we say they can use it now? Because this comes out next week and you'll have put in the coupon code?
Of course. How
Yeah.
much do you want them to get off?
I don't know. What are we thinking?
Well, that was an awkward way of saying it, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't know. Well, you're the one that knows the cost of your stuff. So
That's valid. We'll
10
talk
to 20% is typical.
Oh, we could do that. No problem.
We could do what? The 10 or the 20?
Well, it depends. How much of it do you want?
Oh, there you go. Let's use the code and you'll
Use
see
code
what you're gonna get
JJD
off.
and save something that we will tell you next week.
There you go.
Don't forget to like, comment, save, share, click that subscribe button. We appreciate all the support and give us a review on Apple Podcasts. We are listed as the 15th most popular jiu-jitsu podcast out of it's over 50. I think it's close to 100. And then we were like, what did I say last night? We were like 45 on like MMA podcasts out of 100. But we need more Apple reviews.
Do we know like how many listeners we get an episode on average?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell me one day?
I'll tell you off air. Yeah,
Sweet.
absolutely. I know all
Hold
the
on,
numbers.
pretend
That's
like-
all I do is look at the numbers.
8 million? That's amazing.
We oh my god, I know the I don't want to look at it right now. I know like the download. We're over 1 million total
That's awesome.
download since we started for a little podcast, right?
Yeah.
You know, we're not Rogan. You know,
Hey,
he's getting
just saying
3
little.
million on one podcast. We broke 1 million views, I think, on like if I call it views and downloads, so views on YouTube,
Mhm.
along with the downloads of the podcast, the sound, listens on the podcast. You know, the sound, regardless of where you listen to it, where it's anywhere where this pushes to, where you're just getting the podcast sound. All of that, we're well over 1 million now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Celebrate your wins. That's what Chris Rodriguez says.
There you go.
Over 1 million views / downloads. That is fantastic.
that was
work.
just,
awesome.
I have constantly spoken about Chris this week because we're moving our CRM to go
He's
high level.
badass, man.
At listening to her at Maya, she had mentioned it on the podcast. It went over my head. She mentioned it again at Maya, at the MayaCon event, and I was just like, I got to take a look at this. It is an amazing platform. We're moving to it, and it's going to allow us to offer a lot more to clients. You use it now with her company,
Yes, sir.
Grow Pro.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to be offering that. But again, I always say we'll help martial arts academies, but it's not our focus. We're like mostly like home service companies, doctors, dentists, attorneys, electricians, like service providers. Like that's our forte, people that are looking for local business. But I made a lot of changes because of her. I read a couple of books in like the last couple of
She's a
months.
badass, man.
I'm on a book that she recommended on a podcast that she did. I'm like almost at the end of it.
Which one?
On the sound. It is called Traction.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she's been talking about traction a lot
Yeah,
recently.
yeah. So, all right. Thank you for being patient, brother.
Anytime.
Joining us today is police officer, author of the children's book, Officer Danny Keeps Us Safe, right here. Right. And he is a blue belt.
Blue belt. Yeah.
Any stripes on that blue belt yet?
My,
That's a yes or no. Wait, hold on. Wait. So that's a yes or no question.
I just got my first stripe in the blue belt.
All right.
3 years later.
Okay.
To be fair, my school's not big on stripes.
On the stripes?
At least that's
Don't
what
worry.
I tell myself.
Don't worry. My school didn't
Yeah.
do stripes, so I was like every time it was like a purple belt for.
I got
Whenever
my
we would
first
have
stripe
a
at brown.
we would have coaches come in, and then the coaches would be like, you got to do stripes. And then the coach would do the stripes, but the owner wouldn't. They just didn't like doing stripes. For the adults. For the kids, it's a little bit more like motivational. I think it's motivational for anybody, because look how happy you are. A smile. Like, I got
Why
my
did it
one
take
stripe.
3 years to get a stripe?
Again, just in my school, my head professor, he's not, and he'll tell you, he's not big on stripes. So when they do like the
Do you want to tell us where you train at?
Henzo Gracie Fort Lauderdale,
Oh, awesome.
very
Very good
proud
school.
to be there. Great school. But it's funny because every December when they do belt promotions, he'll tell people who got promoted, like, hey, give me your belt afterwards if you want, like, to mount it and you want the stripes put on, because they're not big on stripes. But you know how it is. We're in here for the long run, so it's all good.
Yeah,
Again,
you know that now I don't care. Now, like, I mean, I did care about the stripes.
Yeah.
But the higher you go, the less you care about it. As a matter of fact, like, I think a lot of people, once they get like purple and brown, that's just like, depending on what school you train at, there's a lot of responsibility that goes along with that. And I know that there are guys that are like, I don't want to get promoted yet, or like, I don't think I deserve it, and all that stuff.
Right.
But once you hit the black, it's just time. Then it's time every 3 years. You get, you got it. You should be actively training.
Black
But
is
now I don't care.
black is the first time I ever really paid attention to my stripes. Like now, I get them embroidered in my belt.
Yeah.
I bought a nice belt.
Do you buy a new belt every time that you have to do the embroidery on the belt? No.
Like, actually, I wore the belt I got promoted in until it was too difficult to untie because of how worn it was.
Yeah.
And now it's like a little pride and joy thing, but I still haven't bought
That's the one I would put
display.
up on that thing.
Yeah. It deserves it. It looks like tattered cloth. It's awesome.
I've tried to figure it out. I've had two belts at just about every level. I always just had two belts. I don't have two. I don't have two for my black belt. Flow and Roll gave me one, but with the white stripe, and I'm like, that means competitor. I'm not competing, so I've never worn it.
I've heard it both ways. Red is a competitor. White's a competitor.
Red is just as a coach, as a teacher, from what I understand.
Okay.
Then there's like
so
the
white
professor stripes, right?
Yeah, then you get
so the white
stripe.
is the competitor because you can't see the stripes. You're just competing.
Yeah, yes, it's like your stripes have no meaning here. So if you've got a 5 stripe against like no stripe, everybody's got supposed to have the white stripe.
Speaking of, did you see that green belt 15-year-old sub 3 black belts at ADCC?
No, who's that?
It was like 2 weeks ago. A 15-year-old green belt competed in one of the regionals to get like allowance or whatever into ADCC, and he submitted or beat 2 or 3 black belts. I don't know if he took the division, but they showed highlights, and he was giving these guys smoke.
Big kid or no?
No, just like $150, $155. Like crazy shit. Like 1 foot jumping, 1 hook under an armpit. They're standing, just spinning like a tornado.
Ninja
And then they just hit the ground, and this dude just goes, what the fuck?
Yeah. I'm going to, we had Leilani on the last episode.
She just competed, right?
She just competed at UFC BJJ against Temi Musamichi.
Mikey's sister.
She lost. Yeah, Mikey's sister. She did lose, but she put on a really good performance, especially, Tammy's like,
she's bad.
I think she's ranked number 1 in the division.
How'd the match go?
Leilani did what she said she was going to do, which is she's a scrambler. She was constantly moving. She didn't really get caught in anything dangerous. Went to a decision. She lost, but she did really well.
Okay.
I think that I looking at her, I would think they would bring her back. I know they've made, I don't know, you guys can tell me how you feel about this. Like, I love watching any jiu-jitsu. When it's just drop to your ass and then you're grabbing feet, it's not so entertaining.
Just doing one thing.
I still like it though because I'm learning.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm looking at it going, how do they do? I'm looking at foot. So immediately I go from spectator to like, I'm studying it until there's more exciting stuff and then I'm back into it, right? I think that UFC is going to have a problem. And they said, who's the girl that was at Maya, who's also in the UFC?
Claudia Gadelha.
Claudia Gadelha. I said it different than you. You tried.
You said real white.
Claudia.
I'm sorry, I've been hanging out for like 25 years now.
So she even said she spoke to some of the competitors about being more active and you've got to attack and things like that. But what do you, like, when I'm watching and I'm just seeing them like on their asses trying to grab feet, I'm like,
bruh.
I know it's a move. I get it. It's still jiu-jitsu, but it's boring jiu-jitsu. And if what they're looking to do is get more eyeballs and casuals into jiu-jitsu, you have to scramble. You've got to be doing what Andrew Tackett does. What's your take on that? Do you watch a lot of like jiu-jitsu and events and stuff?
A little bit, not a lot. I'm laughing at you saying that because my boys at Henzo Gracie would be like, "Yeah, you don't want to see Danny roll then." But I don't compete. I don't compete.
What do you mean?
Professional.
What do you mean?
No, I've become like heel hooks are like my thing now, and I never thought,
cobbler.
I never thought that I'd be into that.
Did you hear them? Did you hear the episode where he was called back in the day? They called him a cobbler.
Really?
You know, like,
Shoemaker, cobbler. A thief.
There you go.
Footlocks were thieves' moves.
There you go. No, even every now and again, still some people like kind of like get offended, depending, you know.
That's only if
do you
you're
hold?
sniffing
Do you
the
hold
feet
this?
and
Do you
stuff.
hold them a little longer when they? Those
Oh
guys,
no. It's funny. I had one of my first professors would tell me it's the only time you look the man in the eye. You know, it's not worth it to get him hurt, because at Henzo's you can start footlocks and all that like day one. It's not like some schools that get away to your purple belt or whatnot.
Yeah.
So, but I always was like, nah, man, I would ignore the lower body.
Yeah.
As a cop, like I'm not gonna be grabbing heels in the streets.
So that
I mean, if you don't want them to run away.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
right, yeah. I again, it's like it's to me, it's the boring side of being a viewer. But again, I'm always going to watch and be like, oh shit, look at the way he puts his foot, and I'm immediately studying it. But I'm looking at it different. Again,
We're
I'm not
the
a
market
casual.
they already have.
Yeah.
If they want a market, here's what blows my mind about like Olympic style, freestyle, or collegiate wrestling. It's all scramble. It's super exciting. There's massive stuff going on. Somehow, it's only popular in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I think jiu-jitsu has a
You're
good
saying
trend.
wrestling? Period?
Wrestling.
Oh, wrestling's
Like-
popular.
You're not seeing it on TV every week.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Flow.
No one watches full game.
Yeah.
$50 a month.
There's
Get
like
outta here.
there's volleyball. There's wrestling. There's I
But you know
get
what
what you. I'm agreeing with what
like
you're
you have to
saying.
go to ESPN 4 to see like the NCAA.
The Ocho,
Right.
ESPN, the Ocho.
The
There is an actual ESPN Ocho now.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, for sure. But like UFC has the ability to make it like more so present.
Yeah.
You know, they got Fight Pass, they got that ESPN Plus Connect. They can put
Yeah.
it right in your face in places that everyone already is.
Yeah.
You know,
Did,
so
did
making
they
it-
did they put it back into? Didn't they like they take it out of the Olympic? They were going to get rid of wrestling, and then they put it.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
they put it back?
So they
Like-
got petitioned and enough people signed off from, I guess, all the participating countries. They're like, okay, we'll leave it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get rid of wrestling from the Olympics. It's like the original
Yeah.
sport.
It's the original martial art.
Yeah.
Wrestling is considered a martial art.
And remember, in the original Olympics, they had pancration, which was like naked MMA.
You like that, don't you?
I mean, it was my favorite part.
Daniel, so going back, you said you're the heel hook guy, or is it just you're new to your game and you're practicing it?
I like the hooks. Some of my boys call me heel hook Herrera.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, snap.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
So, and it's, again, it's crazy because I never thought I would disregard it.
Are you doing mostly no gi, or are you doing any
I do
gi?
equal amounts now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we had a schedule change, and so it's with my schedule, because I go early in the morning. We talked about it before. So I'll do Monday's gi, Tuesday morning is a no gi open mat, 6 a.m. Wednesday no gi, and then I go to open mat Saturday, which is gi. So I'm doing 2 and 2 each. So
You're doing 6 a.m. classes?
6 a.m. classes.
What time do you go to bed?
That depends.
What time does he go to
That
bed?
depends.
10-ish.
Yeah.
I was hoping she was going to say 6:45.
No, we haven't even got into where I have to. I got to get up like at 4 in the morning because I had spine surgery.
Okay.
So I have a routine every morning. I have to stretch my back in the garage before I go about my day. So it's an early morning, but I get it done. I love it. You know.
The
what I'm saying?
spine surgery stems from what?
Wear and tear is what I was told.
Yeah.
It was 7 months into my jiu-jitsu journey when I first started. So I don't think jiu-jitsu caused it. I damn well know jiu-jitsu didn't help it.
Yeah.
So that was so when I had the surgery in
We
January.
like to say it played a supporting role.
Exactly.
Right.
So when I had the surgery in January of 2020, I was away from jiu-jitsu a year and a half. And again, 7 months in, I didn't know anything anyway.
The fact that she came back that quickly is impressive.
That's why to me the blue belt was a huge deal when I got it.
I've been off the mat for 2 weeks, bicep strain, and I'm going nuts.
Yeah.
But my back feels great.
Yeah. It's funny when
My
you get
back
those
feels
breaks. You're like,
great.
"Feel amazing."
It's like, what is going on? This is whatever therapy I'm doing. Yeah, the
Yeah.
best therapy for jiu-jitsu is not doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you got to do. So, all right, let's go back to heel hook. So I was thinking about, did you see, again, do you watch event? Do you watch like the WNOs?
Here and there. Honestly, sometimes in open mats on Saturdays, they'll have the TV on, they'll have them up. But, some of these fights, when they're super late, because I got to get up so early, I'm not staying up for those things.
So the other day, like Leilani was on. Leilani Bernalis was on the show, right? She was going to coach, right? She had to leave real quick out of here because she was going to coach
At ADCC.
at ADCC. ADCC was in Miami, and Maggie Granddaddy, who she thinks she goes by Lyra now, Maggie Granddaddy Lyra, who owns, is married to the owner, or I guess she's the owner of Lyra Jiu Jitsu down here in
Miami.
In Miami, she competed. On that card was Wagner's daughter, right? And it looks like she screwed up her leg. I'm not sure if it was the ankle or if it wound up. It looked like it was from a heel hook.
Is she an adult?
Yeah. What's her name? Google that real quick. Jesus Christ. You know how I am with names. But Wagner's daughter, she's an adult. She fought and she got heel hooked, and kind of looks like it tore up her leg.
Got to be careful.
I think it was. I think it's a heel hook. I don't know if it was a straight ankle. But Jasmine Rocha. That's it, Jasmine. Ben.
Okay.
So she gets her leg ripped apart. So my question is, like, heel hooks, some of the leg stuff, like the manipulations. Like, is the UFC gonna let those things happen?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's the thing. It's just like you take a match knowing you could end your career just from a heel hook. It's not often that's
they do it in new breed intermediate adult.
Yeah.
So you should have way more freedoms on the professional level. These people are being paid.
Right.
Like when you fight amateur MMA, you can't do heel hooks, toe holds, etc. But when you do professional MMA, you can. I can't crank your head off in new breed or most of these WNOs on the amateur level.
Can't I?
No. Spine cranks are illegal in all tournaments.
Well, I mean, I could have like a rear naked across your face and kind of be cranking a little bit. They'll stop that? Okay, they'll stop that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So at certain levels, like new breed, like if you're locking on the chin at beginner or kid, teen at all,
they're going
to stop it. I think
do you lose points or do you get a warning?
that depends on the ref.
Okay.
Like if it's egregious, if you're like taking their head off, they're probably going to DQ you. But if you're just squeezing the rear naked and the chin's in, they're probably going to be like, watch the chin.
I just feel like there are some players that are going to crank it no matter what.
Yeah.
Knowing that, I know I'm going to tear his knee up. I know it's going to tear his knee up. You know that chubby kid from 10th Planet?
The 16-year-old? Yeah. I was about to bring him up. What a dickhead.
He's ripping everybody's knee apart. And like you could tell, like he's getting up. He knows you just ripped your leg apart. He's getting up. He's doing, this.
I'm going to hit you with a car in the parking lot.
Jumping around celebration, but he's just kind of like, he knows what he just did. And that was his thing, though. He did it until he lost.
Messed up, though.
Then he lost it, I think, a WNO. They put him in a WNO.
Did they destroy his leg?
No, but he got his ass handed to him. I mean, it just looked like a fat kid. Listen, he could kick my ass, I know, probably every day of the week. But it just looked like a fat kid rolling around with like an actual like jiu-jitsu coach or something. Just like he got schooled.
I don't know. If I paid $125 to go to New Breed and some kid tore my knee apart and then celebrated it, I'm probably going to hit him with my car. I'm going to wait for you in front of the venue.
The larger point is like, you don't see it happen too much. I guess you do see it in the
Most
UFC.
people are good-spirited. Like,
I'm going to do it to like hold it.
They look at you.
Look at
you going to tap? How about now? Okay.
Yeah. But that's the thing. That's the thing is that doesn't happen all the time. And they were just like who's the guy that got thrown out of the UFC for freaking busting everybody's knee?
Oh, Paul Harris.
Paul Harris, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, they did it back then because it was like, you're doing it, you don't have to do that.
But he was also
to win.
Like refs hands on. Break, it's over. They tapped. And he's like,
Yeah. So again, like I would say that this chubby kid, I forget his name, and I probably know his name, but that kid, he was just doing it to everybody in like these smaller local competitions, holding up $1,000 cash that he wins at these competitions, and then they put him in with some older players, and he gets his ass.
Now you haven't heard from him at all.
Yeah, you haven't. Right, you haven't in a bit. Well, first of all, if he wants to really do this seriously, he's got to get in shape. He's like literally like running around at 16, like rolls of fat,
230, 240.
If he gets in shape, he would be a force.
Probably.
But again, he's also got to like, if you want to get matches and you want people to fight you, you're gonna also don't rip everybody's knee apart so that you do get fights.
Or you're probably gonna get your shit messed up.
Or
regularly.
Somebody's gonna do it to you.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's got to be real nervous when he's stepping up in level.
Yeah.
Like, you like to hurt people? Cool. I know what kind of game we're playing today.
One of my old coaches used to say, for every level there's another level.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, even like you ever like, I remember maybe you can relate to this, right? You see your coach Like your coach is always kicks your ass.
Yeah.
And then somebody comes in for an open mat or something, and then it's like giving your coach a tough time. It's just like, oh wow,
Bro.
So the guy that kicks my ass and is teaching me
No,
jiu-jitsu, he also gets
at
his
Henzo
ass
Gracie
handed.
for love.
No?
All the coaches are doing the ass whooping.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No, but like an outside, but like like somebody from that, like you guys have a really good open mat, right?
Oh, yeah.
I know you had a really good open mat on the weekends, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people that go. Do you know like A&M Jiu Jitsu? Drew, he's been a guest like he kind of co-hosts.
If I'm terrible with names,
yeah. A&M Jiu Jitsu is the one that's at the go-kart place off of 95.
Okay.
Extreme
Yeah.
Action Park. In
Yeah.
the back there's a Jiu Jitsu academy. I forgot what I was going to say about him. What was I saying?
He's the coolest guy in the world, and he has wonderful waves. He's an excellent coach and produces great.
What were we just talking about? Why did I bring
open mats?
the open mat. So he has a really good no-gi open mat, and then actually like my school in Coral Springs is the one known for the gi open mat on Sundays. So we've got like all the local gym, or even like some that are a little far out. That's the place. Even some of the 10th Planet guys come out. Sean, I ran into Shane.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to get an echocardiogram, just like my normal maintenance. And I'm pulling in the parking lot. I actually pulled in, forgot my prescription, had to go back to my house, come back, and I'm pulling in, and he's walking out of the same place, out of the same place. Like he had to get a whole bunch of stuff scanned. He did ADCC with like a concussion. He's had a concussion, so he went in for all his stuff, and I'm driving to the parking lot. I'm like, "Hey, your guard sucks." He's like, where the hell is that coming from? And just so he was one of our recent guests, 10th Planet brown belt, Laborio black belt. But
he's the police officer.
Yeah, he's a police officer.
Miami Garden, nearby, my neighboring city. Yeah,
yeah, he's great dude. Great.
Yeah.
So we have a really good, like, I think my school is known for their gi open mat, and then I know that I've heard of your open mat.
So they have Saturday is gi, Sunday's no gi.
Open mats.
Completely different. Like
100%.
So the funny story is that, like, a year or so ago, one of my buddies, we would just go to Saturday open mat gis and or gi open mats. And then we were like, man, let's try like every other weekend do the Sundays. Dude, we went one Sunday. But that's all like the younger competitors and all that stuff. We went one Sunday no gi open mat. We were like, we're not doing this no more, bro. Let's go back to Saturdays because it's a different animal. And all kidding aside, speaking about levels, I'm 43 years old, man. Like, and I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to go to work.
You're young.
Yeah,
you're a youngin.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to
look like you. We're the same age. It's bullshit. I'm
Look at this guy. I know. You got a shirt that fits? Jesus Christ.
No, I like my mediums. My boys know that.
Look at this part over here.
The sleeves aren't short. The
Give him a little.
biceps are big.
Do that thing. Go ahead. I know you can do that thing.
I always joke, get to wear the clothes, not have the clothes wear you.
Push-up contest?
No, not at all.
Not me.
So go ahead. So the
different levels. Like to your point.
I'm 52, and I have no problem turning down a role from somebody that's like, that guy's competing next week, and I know he's going to go ham, and I'm just like,
yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm good. Next one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, or I'll just turn and be like, no. I'm like, again, I don't want to reference my old coach too much, but he used to say, grab somebody when we would go to roll. He'd be like, grab somebody that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, I don't feel, and I haven't for a long time. Like, I'll turn down a role. I was always the higher belt at my school. I was there for 8 years, and like a lot of the higher belts didn't stay, and for reasons that you probably know about, you've heard me talk about. So it's just like I was always like the higher belt. So being in a school with like 15 black belts on the mat on a freaking Monday, it's just a completely different vibe. But I know like most of the black belts know to like, we match each other's intensity.
Of course. But
there are a couple of new black belts that are like kill every time they roll. I hurt myself. And he's a sweet guy. It's not his fault. He's just a big dude. He's like 6'2", 6'4", new black belt. I hurt myself drilling with him. We were just drilling back takes, and he was like, we were like start on the back. He went so hard. That was the first time that I messed up my bicep, where I was just like, oh man, like just like holding on to him so tight. But I know now, like,
one of those things, he doesn't know how strong he is.
No, yeah.
He's
a 20-something. Like, I think he's like 24, black belt. Training since he was in the single digits at the same school. So everybody else knows I'm the newer guy. Been there for, I think, just now like 1 full year. But, I turn him down. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm smart enough to know too, like if we're going to roll, either make him the first roll, because usually people start off a little, so like make him the first roll. People used to do this to me, so that I'm like, oh, this is why they did that.
Yeah.
I have a buddy, Mauricio.
The flow rounds.
He used to come grab me the first round. If he didn't grab me the first round, he would avoid me. And then I would be like, what are you doing? He's just like, I know that the first round, like the coach is telling you, like, take it easy, warm up in the first round. So I was like, oh, you son of a bitch. That's what you've been doing all this time. So then I would turn him down and they'd be like, no, get a couple of rolls in and then we'll roll.
But at least you're a black belt. Imagine being a blue belt. But that's where like I don't have no shame because it's not worth it to me, the ego or anything, for me to get hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm playful about it. I'm that guy that jokes sometimes when rolling, if it's the right guy to do that with. But, so like, with mats, I'll be like, no eye contact. And I'm saying that out loud, and the guy's laughing, and I'm like, no, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
There'll be a day where you look him right in the eyes and go, no.
Yeah.
Nope. Go.
Dude, I've had guys where I was like, you're too strong. Get away from me.
Yeah. And look, it's not, that part's not about ego, like legitimately, look, again, I jokingly say, 43, you said?
Yeah.
I started at 40, right before my 41st birthday. So I was already, so immediately like, the bumps and bruises and, they add up over time. But there should be no part of you that is worried about telling anybody that you don't want to roll, other than your instructor, or any of it, like a coach. Yeah. But I don't, I mean, it's not being a wimp. It's not being,
being smart.
No, yeah, I got to be smart. And if nobody's going to say anything to my face.
Right.
And I could roll hard, I'll roll, But every once in a while, like I said, I've got, like, especially if I have an injury, I'll be like, dude, no. You're competing next week. My arm's killing me. Just, go find somebody that makes sense. So I'm not worried about that. So again, Jasmine, she gets so is there a place that we say like that move is not appropriate because everybody is popping their knees or that's busting their knee?
So I would say you could have this conversation like 3 or 4 years ago when like the death squad was just getting legs and no one could keep up. But not now. Now it's been another 4
But they were also
years.
like, I mean...
They were subbing guys.
They were subbing, but they weren't popping knees.
People get hurt all the time.
Yeah.
And most of the time, people are hurting themselves, rotating the wrong way, this and that.
Yeah.
And that was that period of time where like a lot of people didn't know.
Yeah.
But if you notice like that top tier, they've all passed the leg lock. They're back to like, what's crazy,
other
like
stuff.
2003 smash, body
Mother's
lock,
milk.
low angle passing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We've completely reverted
Everything
back.
has its time.
Yeah. It always cycles. How do we stop leg attacks? Take away space. Smash passing. And it just cycles back.
Can I tell you my favorite escape of anything leg related? My very first coach, he would take his foot and put his toes right in your butt.
Yeah.
Right in he would be aiming for the butthole and just push. And everybody goes, and they let go. I do that to this day. I put my toes right.
If you're
in
in
the
real
crack of the
danger,
head. Swear to God,
sure,
I do
for sure.
And then just push, and then you get a little like, whoa. It's
and
legal.
Then you're safe.
It's legal.
Yeah.
It's legal.
Yeah.
So
Welcome to a new age in wellness, healing, and recovery. LaHeal Biogenics is at the forefront of new and natural methods of treatment. Friendly staff will take you through the process comfortably and help you optimize your body, heal injuries, and recover from physical stress and traumas. From red light therapy, laser treatment, to peptides, and much more. Check out LaHeal.com. Be your best. Get LaHeal. Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
Is your business getting lost online? Black Belt Digital Marketing is a full-service digital marketing agency that helps you get found, get leads, and grow. We specialize in local and website SEO, so your business stands out when customers search. Our website SEO makes sure your site loads fast, ranks high, and stays ahead of AI-driven search, so customers find you first. More visibility, more clicks. more customers right when they're ready to buy. Grow your business online with Black Belt Digital Marketing. Visit bbdigitalmarketing.com or call 9542-204932 today.
Is it legal?
You are not allowed to invade an orifice.
But if I put all 5 toes in the crack,
So here's okay. So one of my friends, a very prominent UFC fighter, was making his UFC debut, and they put him up against a Russian Sambo specialist. And he had like 6 or 8 finishes by like leg lock.
Okay.
And since I was the resident cobbler, we were partnered. It didn't hurt that we're like only a year apart in age and stuff, but leg lock, leg lock, leg lock, leg lock. And he was just like, man, I'm going to show you the defense. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, you see these 3 toes? You try to put them inside his asshole. And I'm like, what? And he goes, bro, he's leg locking you. You're doing a normal push, pull, escape.
Yeah.
No one's going to blame you or think you did it maliciously, that in this panicked situation, you just angled those toes down a little bit.
So is it weird that I usually make like really serious eye contact with them and go like that?
It's weird
and then
that you
do
moan.
it. Yeah. I really do make eye contact like, you doing this? Are
This
we
is
doing
your
this?
choice,
Here
Fred.
you go. And then they're like, oh shit. And I'm like,
And then that one guy goes,
yeah. He's following me around after
"Say, do you
class.
want to roll again?"
All right, let's talk. Oh, I wanted to mention one other thing because we were talking about Leilani. So Leilani was here. She went to coach. Jocelyn Molina was the girl. She's been a follower of the show. She's always tagging me and stuff. We're always sharing our stuff to stories and things like that. It was Shane. I shared something. She's 13. She looks like she's an adult at this point. I mean,
The girl I just looked up?
no. That's Wagner's daughter. This is Jocelyn Molina. She's 13 years old. That's the girl that Leilani went to coach that day at the ADCC. Was it? Was it ADCC
Yeah.
or W? What are we talking about? It was
I don't
WNO.
remember
It was
what day
It was a WNO. It was a WNO. Yeah. So she's got it. She's got it here because it was her first. She's got the little first place gold medal.
Nice.
So Leilani goes, she wanted to be there to coach. So that was Maggie. I don't know his first name, but her husband, whose last name is Lyra. And there was Leilani on the side and they were coach. She like ran through that. She like arm drag, took her back, got on top. They scrambled a little bit. She winds up, I think, taking her back. And I think she submitted it with the rear naked choke. The girl, she's a blue belt, but she's like a 13-year-old blue belt that's been training since she was a little kid. I mean, we've been doing this 6 years.
That's 3 years.
She's been tagging us for years. I've seen her get older and older. 13 years old. I think she's the youngest. WNO competitor ever. Period. Like on one of their shows, and then she wins and beats an adult from 10th Planet
At 13?
That's crazy.
She's 13 years old.
That's
so
wild.
shout out. I don't know. I know that Jocelyn always tags us and stuff. I don't know if she listens to every episode. If she does,
Of course she does.
congrats, Jocelyn.
Where'd you get
Congrats. Keep on tagging us. I've been watching you for a really long time. I think she's Puerto Rican too, so I'm like, my Boricua. over
There you go.
Body.
So just wanted to mention that. That was awesome. And she's like on par, I believe, with like Helena Cravar, who we had on the podcast way back.
She was the
we did a
16-year-old
podcast.
with Danaher, right?
We interviewed her. She was like 12 or 13 years old, and we interviewed her.
Really?
Yeah. So that's like I think at least 4 years ago. So like she's on par with that. She's from what I've seen and watching her compete. Like I just I don't know if she's not posting the losses, but
She seems to do very well.
I think everything I see is I'm going to this competition and there she is on the podium, or she's number one, or she's the winner and holding cash and all that stuff.
I mean, when
So,
Danaher is promoting you personally, like when he's posting you on his socials,
You're
you're
pretty good.
probably doing really good.
yeah. So I feel like she's on par with Helena. Like that she's that talented.
That's awesome.
And then like she's she doesn't look like she's 13. Like same thing with Helena. Helena was like long and tall, and
She looks quite
She
tall.
looks like
20.
both of them look like they were adults way before they were actually adults. So shout out to Jocelyn Molina. If you want to follow her, she's Jocelyn_Molina_BJJ. They call her Baby Shark. She had the rash guard that said Baby Shark.
That's cool.
All right, let's talk about the book.
Let's talk about the book.
Yeah, you
Reading is fundamental.
There you go.
So tell me, let's start from the beginning. Why a book about lockdowns, lockdown safety?
Because half
All right.
guard's important. Oh, my.
What'd you say?
Because half guard's important.
There you
Not
go.
that lockdown.
So I know we spoke before. I'm a former school teacher. Okay. So I taught for 5 years in
Here,
Broward County.
go like this if you can.
No, you're good.
Just so you could see the book and it doesn't get blocked.
There you go. So bottom line is, as a former school teacher, I'm an SRO now, school resource officer. As a parent, I saw that there was a need to get a resource out there for teachers, for parents, because especially teachers in the classroom, they're not trained for this. There's teachers who've been teaching 15, 20 years, and teaching 15, 20 years ago is not what it is now.
Yeah.
Right. So now lockdown drills, that's a reality that many are not prepared for. And I always say, if you have a good school resource officer who takes the lead on those kind of things at the school that they're at, fantastic. But in talking to, there's again, former colleagues of mine that I'm still in contact with, teachers that I work with presently, the bottom line was they're clueless a lot, and it's not their fault. They're not trained for that. They're not police officers. They're not trained on how to, successfully navigate a lockdown drill, especially with little ones.
Sure.
Anybody, we all know kids, whether our own or family members, they get real nervous about this kind of things. So the first thing, and I don't have a business bone in my body, but the first, idea that I had was to ask around, right? Like, hey, do you guys have a resource that you use on this? Because what I was seeing maybe wasn't reality, right? Like maybe I'm just seeing the people that I know personally, but I started asking around, and everybody to the T was like, no, we don't have, do you have anything? I'm like, shoot, I may, And I also saw when I would do, because I'm an instructor in my agency, and so I do like a stop the bleed, I do active shooter, stuff like that. And when I would, teach these teachers, I mean, and again, not their fault, but like some didn't even know what a tourniquet was. They're getting the combat gauze and this is a tourniquet. I'm like, oh God, like they don't know.
Yeah.
And then seeing what they would learn after the trainings, and it was, it's just always really rewarding. But I'm like, okay, what can I do to reach more people when I can't physically be there? So I had the idea of the book. I did a first draft. I think I was very, we'll call it tactical, where I didn't share it with 30 people. I had a handful amount of teachers that, okay, here's my first draft. What do you guys think? And all these teachers got 20, 25 years experience.
Let me interrupt you. Was the intent in the beginning, was it always going to be a children's book, or was it more an instructional for the teacher?
It was going to be
because this book is, the teacher can look at this, but this is also for them to teach their students, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So was the intent going in, you said you were kind of tactical with it. Were you writing it in the beginning for like the teacher? Or from the very beginning, was it always going to be a children's book?
For the teacher to read to the kids.
Okay.
It was always in.
So it was always that. Okay.
Yeah.
Go on.
Because as far as at the school where I'm in an SRO, I'm in an alternative high school. Okay. So I deal with older kids myself.
Alternative meaning what? What is it? I don't.
They don't like calling it that nowadays, but it's a school where you go to when you got kicked out of your regular school.
So POP kind of stuff.
Yeah. So we have a lot of and it is what it is. It's a challenging. It's a challenging population. Not every student in that school has had, criminal issues or whatever, but we have. And it's funny because I always joke, but it's true. I'm the only officer in my agency that loves the school I'm at. So when I have negotiated training and I have to miss, sometimes it's a pain in the butt to get someone to cover for me because they're like, bro, I hate that school because of what we're dealing with. But I came from street crimes, which is what I did before I became an SRO.
Street crimes.
What's the age range of the school?
So we have very little middle school. It's mostly high school. Okay. But we also have adult learners that come in.
Okay.
To give you an idea, we have a daycare for the teen moms on campus. You know what I'm saying? So again, not every student there is bad or has had a criminal history. But we do have some of that. We got some dope. We've had weapons. Now we have metal detectors, which have been great. But I have gotten guns off campus. There's gun issues or drug issues or.
You're the one officer on campus?
I am one. Yeah.
Right. Is that hard?
For the whole campus. I personally, and to be fair, so there's 2 other high schools in the city, and they each have 2. It's a numbers thing. So it's not about what the population you have, what they look like. It's about, does the numbers, justify another SRO.
Yeah. My high school had 4,000 kids.
Yeah.
And you had 1 as well? Or do you
I remember knowing one, but probably seeing.
I never had. I don't remember.
Well, you're 100 years old.
Yeah. Who left? Who left? I heard that.
It was Eric.
Was that you? Was that your wife? Did she left? That was it.
There you go.
You get one free one.
Yeah.
The next one, she got to go.
Next one, we're gonna put you outside.
But honestly, I've never even pushed for another one.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things where if they were to pair me with somebody, it's like anything else, right? You get me somebody who I can really work well with, great. But if you get me somebody, I'd rather just work alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
You find that most of the, like when I was in university, we had university PD, and all of them were like, I came from Miami Gardens, I came from Hollywood, I got 5 years. I'm going to spend it here. I'll just yell at some drunk kids and keep it easy.
that's the stereotype, right?
Yeah.
That's why, like I've talked about before, where the thing, Street Crimes was my dream gig.
That's a crazy thing to say.
That was my dream gig. Guns, gang, and dope, right? And I loved it.
In uniform or plain clothes?
No, we were not in uniform, but a different uniform. We were like the tactical, like all blacked out kind of stuff, not road blues.
We were the cool guys.
And I don't know about all that, but and I loved it. I really did. But the problem was, and I talk about this often, was I came from a very intact family, small, like the 5 of us in our house. That was it. My parents, my siblings, and I. So I always wanted to be a good husband, a good father. And after 4 years in Street Crimes with the crazy schedule, I was missing out on stuff. I have 3 kids, and they're playing sports. I'm missing things, and wifey over there, thank God, holding it down. But I started to get like that dad guilt, and I'll never forget. We were on vacation, and the department-wide email went out for the opening for school resource officer, and because I was a school teacher, now I got my dream gig. I was that dude that was like, "Nah, man, that's where you go when you're gonna retire." Like, because that's the stereotype, right? And I said, "Man, but the schedule's pretty badass, and I'm tired of missing stuff."
Done by
and
4.
yeah. And my wife was like, "Look, don't do it for us. We want you to be happy." God does things the way he does things, because I always say they put me in the perfect school, because again, I feel like a police officer.
Yeah.
I'm able to connect, make great connections, great relationships with the kids. There's things that I do I can relate to, but it's my population that I like. Like it's funny because I wrote a children's book, but I don't want to all day be reading children's book to kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like talking tattoos, and you know what I'm saying, and getting to know your culture. And I may not understand why you do certain things, but like I've always loved like the gang stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm interested in it. And so I've built these really good connections where I'm at. There's a mutual respect between us, and like I always say, like empathy is a big thing as a crisis negotiator, and I don't have to agree with why you did what you did. But I'm very interested in trying to understand what made you go that route, And so I'm in a great spot.
Side note.
Yep.
You made me think of somebody. Do you know there's a Chris Ortiz who's a teacher in, I believe it's Texas. I brought up his page. Let me see if I just show you his picture. Do you know who this guy is? Have you seen him online?
I have not.
Give him a follow, and then I'm going to ask you. Like, he's advocating in his school district, and I believe he's making headway to make jiu-jitsu part of their curriculum, like bring it into
the actual school.
To bring it into the school.
That's awesome.
And I believe he's making headway. We talked about trying to get him on the podcast. Like we really wanted him to do it, coming from Texas and coming here. I've got to reach out to him. Like, if you're not going to be able to make it, because it's been a few months that we've been waiting to try to schedule, so I might just do it via Zoom. I would give him a follow. But I mean, I was going to ask, do you see, with the population that you deal with, do you see like how jiu-jitsu can affect people?
I recommend
positive
jiu-jitsu
impact?
to a lot of kids.
Have you? Yeah, I was going to say, do you recommend it? Have you ever thought about?
And I even reached out to because again, my school's pretty far from me. It's a 30-minute drive. So to get a kid in East Miramar, hey, go to Henzo's on Saturday for open mat. That's a very long drive.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids don't have the resources.
In that South Broward, Miami area, 30 minutes, it's like 3 or 4 miles.
Yeah, right. It seems that way. Yeah. But near the campus, there's an alliance, like in Hollywood, and I'll reach out, email or call them, and be like, hey, I got this kid. Like, can we work on something? You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure they love you after a minute.
Yeah.
It's like
and it's hard, and sometimes it's hard for the kids to commit because again, they don't have fathers.
Yeah.
There's only so much that I can do, but I at least try. Like all my students know that I'm big into jiu-jitsu, that I'm big into.
I'm sending you his link, by the way. I'm not over here just texting with.
No. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I want you to give him a follow. I mean, I think like again, it's what you're doing and then what he's doing. I think you guys would probably
but that's
click,
beautiful.
and it's really cool what he's doing. Again, I'm really looking to have him on. I know that he went to like a school board meeting in the last couple of months and had to present, and I believe it was well received. I don't know if he's got full approval, but I think he's actually like moving forward, at least in his school district or his school.
That's awesome.
I don't quote me on that. I've got to look a little bit further.
If he's making headway, that's awesome because it's very difficult to get a school board to get on board with anything. I mean, there's so many. I mean,
the thing is, like, you don't know what you don't know. Like, it's almost the same thing like with the police departments, right? Like the higher ups, the old timers, the guys that never did jiu-jitsu are watching it. Just you say jiu-jitsu, if they even know what it is, they immediately think like UFC, MMA, right? All that craziness and ground and pound and all that stuff, which we know is part of the MMA side. But unless they, go to like, a seminar and see how useful it is for cuffing, learning how to work with a partner in certain situations, they just don't know what they don't know. So
it's changing a little bit, man, little by little, but I do see it.
I respect what he's doing. I support what he's doing. I hope that he did get some approval, but in my mind, I'm like, man, this is a difficult road you're going on because immediately, what does everybody think? Violent. This is a violent thing. You have to go, and even if you're a parent and you go sit and watch a class, you might have a couple of kids that go a little crazy, and all of a sudden you're like, no way are we teaching this in school? We're going to
half-cocked. He's going to have a PowerPoint number.
Yeah, no. But again, but the person listening or watching it has to, if they have any visual in their mind, this is a violent thing that we do.
And what's weird is when you hear, we're going to do an after-school taekwondo class or an after-school karate class. They're like, yeah, but jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
And they go, is it Japanese? No, it's Brazilian. But that's totally different.
I don't even think we're talking about like an after-school sport. I think it's more like part of like gym.
Yeah. Oh, no, I understand.
Like when I was growing up, we had a whole like 3 months of gymnastics.
Yeah.
They turned our gym. They made it look like a regular like gymnastics training gym. I was a gymnast from 5 to 16. Because of that, they had the after-school program, but it was our gym class for like 3 months.
And if you want your kid to be really good at jiu-jitsu, put them in gymnastics.
Gymnastics?
Well, actually, if you want to be good at anything, gymnastics is the best athletic base for all sports.
That's very interesting. What state was that in?
And wrestling. What's that?
What state was that
New
in?
York. Long Island. Yeah.
Yankees.
The gym, our coach in our elementary school was a gymnastics coach. He had all girls. He had 3 daughters.
Wow.
He was their coach. He taught them outside of the schools. And then he got approval to make this happen. And then when I graduated, my school went up to the 5th grade, even though 6th grade is considered elementary. The 6th grade for my elementary school went into the junior high. And then in 7th grade, other schools came in. There was 2 other schools that came in, and now we're all in the same building. He got it approved for the junior high. So when I went to junior high, then it was like, oh shit, I show up. They did it the same thing. They actually did half of the gym. They converted to gymnastics. I'm like, holy, this is great. I get to continue my gymnastics as a teenager. And also I looked fucking, all of these new people are coming in from these other schools, and I'm freaking like helping him coach and doing moves that nobody else could do. So it was really cool. But
can you do this?
It's akin to that though. It's like, I'm talking about, from what I understand, he's trying to make it like the gym class for X amount of time. I believe, again, I haven't done a full interview with him. So
there's a school up by me in Palm Beach called the Weiss School, and they have a taekwondo class in the school, like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th period.
Is it private or like a charter?
That one's a private.
Yeah,
it's one of those like.
Yeah. That's a whole different thing because they could do whatever they want.
Charter school. Did you hear about Coral Springs Charter?
No.
You didn't see?
That's the one that looks like a college campus.
Bad news.
No.
Bad news. Very, very bad.
Dating an 8th grader again?
Yep.
Was it a guy or a girl?
A guy with a boy.
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's bad.
That guy right there. I'm not going to show it, but.
Oh, yeah.
Teacher, did you see this?
Yeah.
Coral Springs Charter?
Jesus.
Guess where that is?
Like 2 blocks from your house?
No, like it's across the street.
Oh, wow.
I live on one corner. My office is on the other. It's literally, we share the entrance with Coral Springs Charter.
That's not
crazy.
Okay.
That's terrible.
No, you were smiling. I didn't know if you were smiling. Just I went to Coral Springs Charter.
Oh my, that's my alma mater.
So this school teacher apparently He's, what does it say? Arrested on multiple felony charges stemming from an alleged sexual relationship with a student.
Jesus Christ.
And I think, not think, he's obviously in his teens.
Like, I knew that kid.
Oh, you know the kid? You know the kid in the article?
I knew the guy in the article. Like,
the guy. Wait. You know the teacher?
The teacher.
Oh, you know the teacher? You saw it? Oh.
No, yeah. Exactly what you're talking about. It was crazy. I saw it this morning on Facebook, and I was like, wait, this guy. And to be honest, I always felt a little weird around him, but he was very social. He was always at different parties and things like that. Like, it's just crazy to see that. It's crazy.
Well,
that's so messed up, man.
Messed up.
He doesn't look the same there.
Yeah.
This is his picture. If you look at his mugshot, yeah, he like
That's his.
he got caught, right? So it's just crazy. I mean, I reposted it. If you want to look, if anybody's listening, go to Academy Safe on Facebook.
Is
where it's academysafe.org is actually like facebook.com/academysafe.org. We'll get you to our page. You can look at it. But I mean, talk about close to home, like literally.
Yeah.
I'm on one corner of Sample University. I can walk across to my office, and the school is right there. It all shares the same road.
He doesn't walk,
It's
though.
literally right there.
He drives.
And but it's crazy when something happens like that so close, where like it hits different. I mean, talk about like Stoneman Douglas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that one for us. I'm a little older than, or a little bit younger than you are, but like for me, like
You can say older.
the
way
big,
younger.
the big like one active shooter thing growing up was Columbine. I was
Yeah.
a junior at the time, right? That was it. And then year after year, we get more and more, but it wasn't until like, and it's funny, not funny, but Stoneman Douglas happened my first year as an SRO. And that one was like, wow, like I got to be on top of my game with this. And then I always said, at the school that I'm at, not because I'm special, but my efforts there, I train, I'm on top of it. I'm not worried about what's going to happen at that school. But as a parent, my little one now is 17, so, but when they were younger, that was my fear. I mean, they'd come home and be like, for the lockdown drill, we were under the table like it's tornado drill. And I'm like, what the heck is going on there?
Tornado drill. Go back. That was the nuclear bomb drill, right?
Yeah, right.
Yep.
So that was concerning for me because, again, if you have a good SRO, you're in good hands. But the stereotype, unfortunately, well, again, look what happened with Stoneman Douglas and that SRO, right? Not doing what he's supposed to be doing. It was a guy on his way out, kind of trying to cruise his last couple of years. I will say proudly, man, in Miramar, we have a lot of like young SROs that want to do the right thing, train. We got SWAT guys, negotiators.
Well, I think after those unfortunate occurrences, you're getting some of these people coming in going like, my mission is to get into school and make sure this doesn't happen.
Yeah, to that point, yeah, because again, I teach a lot of the new hires, and I love it because you still get a lot that like, I want to be a detective and be on SWAT. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, but also, do you want to be a father? Do you want to coach Little League? Do you want to, coach Taekwondo or Jiu Jitsu or whatever? But I'm seeing more, especially with the older cops coming in. No, I want to be in the schools. That's my goal. I'm like, awesome, bro. We need good people that want to be there, that are willing to do the work,
So let's give this dirtbag the proper shout out because I usually don't say names of people because so that you don't get to, as long as there's a story out there that I can point to,
Right.
I'm referencing a public story. We're not, Academy Safe isn't about outing anybody, right? So we're always careful, even though that's a different business than the podcast. But his name is Joseph Michael Melendez, 33 of Coral Springs. He was taken into custody Thursday by the Coral Springs PD, their special victims unit. He's charged with 1 count of sexual battery, 2 counts of lewd and lascivious battery, and 1 count of lewd and lascivious molestation. So there you go, Joseph.
I can tell you,
Go
man.
fuck yourself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, most people know my story. I'm not going to go into the story about my academy, but, when I see this stuff, I'm like, it hits different. It's like, I looked at that story and I'm like, oh shit, Coral Springs. Oh shit, Coral Springs charter. Like literally I can like walk downstairs and see the charter school right there. So it's kind of like, talk about close to home. And that's what I posted. I'm like, right in my freaking backyard. Literally we share the parking lot with that school. It's just crazy. I mean, it can happen anywhere. Anybody that thinks they're immune to this stuff, what we're doing with Academy Safe, we're trying to do the background, not trying to, but doing background checks is like it's just so important. It's like it's the first level. We're not going to stop everything. We say that to everybody. There's going to be some idiot that went through a background check that was cleared and does something stupid. It's just going to happen. We know it. But if we can keep out the guys that are hiding, or that have done something and not registering themselves as sex offenders when they move or they get a job, they're not disclosing it. right? We're at least making people have the conversation. You know, people are, I would say gyms are having that conversation internally now. And if somebody knows something and says, hey, listen, this guy, you know, he should really be here. At least that happens. And one of the things that I really want to do too is, I think Henner and Hiron Gracie do this out in California. They just do a check of their students against the sex registry. They don't do background checks, but they at least check against it. I think it's at all of their facilities. If they're
I thought they were doing full background checks.
From what I understand, well, then you have to get
just from conversation. I haven't looked into this at all. Just talking about it with you.
From what I understand, they're just running their names against this sex registry because you do have to get. I don't know what the legalities are with us in an employment situation. You're saying like, hey, I know that I'm going to get a background check and sign off whatever you have to do, right? Same thing with us with Academy Safe. They're putting their information in and going, go ahead and background check me, right? Versus it's a student. Do you have to get their approval to do a background check? But anybody can just take a name and go to the sex registry and pull through it. By the way, our background checks check against the sexual. That same registry, the sex registry. So
that's awesome,
sex offender registry, I should say. So we're checking that as well. So when you see the coach's name, they've been run through not only the background check, but the national registry. So, but yeah, again, like nobody's immune. It can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that we're not saying that guy's a coach and it's different, and I get it. But and then this is a perfect situation. He had to have been background checked to become a teacher, and he still does something stupid. And even like Ben saying, yeah, that guy was a little off. That happens so often in this world when somebody does something, everyone's just like, you know, he was a little off. He was a little weird. He was antisocial. He was very social. He was, you know, whatever. But it can literally happen anywhere. And for at least martial arts, if we can just be that little extra protection. Yeah. I keep on saying in my academy, it's like we joke around a little bit like, hey, is that academy safe? You know, like, oh, is that academy safe? What?
It's a good joke.
But it's a good but it's on everybody's mind. Yeah. Like the way that they act, the way they interact with the students, maybe the way that they interacted before, they realize maybe this isn't appropriate now. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that inappropriate things were happening at my school by any means, but just like, look, you know, these kids are looking up to us. You know, I know in my school, kids in the single digits stay from their class through the teen class to hang out and do the adults class. A lot of them, even the coaches' daughters, they do their own class and then they stay through the adult warm-ups and then mom takes them home. So they've already done their class. They do the warm-ups for some extra exercise and then they leave. Right. So they're still part of the class, you know. So it's like, you know, watch what you say, watch what you do, watch when you're changing, you know, there are kids in here. So anyway, let's get back to the book. So continue on kind of.
No, I was going to say to that point, because when I talk to parents even, and again, I can be very playful and make jokes, you know, when there's a lot of fights on campus. And that's another way that I'll introduce jiu-jitsu. I'm like,
you look like smiling a little bit about the fight.
I suplex this.
No. I'll call a kid aside and I'll be like, my man, I saw the video of that fight of yours, bro. That was terrible, bro. Like, let me recommend this school for you, you know? But
that's
no, but
step your game up, bro.
Yeah, or I'll talk to the parents, you know, and I'll tell the parents, like, listen, I saw what happened, you know, because, and it's like I tell kids, it's not like when we grew up that you would fight in school and that was it. Nowadays, you get the kid that looks the most street, and they get into a fight. The next day, the parents going to come see me. And if the parent's a minor and the mom wants to press charges, forget about street credit. What the kid wants to do, they're going to press charges, and then I have to get involved. So I'm constantly in conversation with these parents, and I always recommend. I'm like, listen, man, like you saw here when he got his butt handed to him. Like, besides the fact that I know they shouldn't be fighting in school, but please, man, check out. I can recommend. I always tell them, send me where you live, or I find out where they live, and I recommend a school nearby. Yeah. Have aside from the incredible other benefits, right? Sure. The mental health of it, the structure, the respect, but if for no other reason, so that they defend themselves, because there's kids that like, and I always, it's a felony. Like, anytime a victim needs to go to the hospital because of their injuries, a lot of cops don't do this, to be honest, but I'm pushing for that felony, and I get it. Yeah. 99% of the time. You got some kids that this is not like those scrappy fifth graders. This is like 19-year-old gangbanger and 17-year-old, you know, whatever. Yeah. And there's sometimes that they're seriously hurt. So I mean, as much as I joke around, I'll tell them they need something to protect themselves. For anybody listening to this, if they're new to jiu-jitsu, like, why would you tell a kid that's fighting to do jiu-jitsu? We know the more that you learn how to fight,
the less you fight. As soon as you start learning, there's a couple of things that go off. So number one, if you got a good coach, they're telling you, I'm teaching you something. You are not using this out there to start fights. You're going to use it. This is self-defense. You're going to use this in defense of yourself. So if you have a good coach, they're teaching you that already. But I know for maybe kids that are older, and I know for adults, this happened for me, is as soon as I started to learn jiu-jitsu and see other people that did jiu-jitsu, it was like, that guy's a black belt or a brown. Like, you start to realize, like, oh shit, you don't know what people know.
Exactly.
It's not like they're not, if they're not wearing the shirt, you don't know what they know. You don't know what they, they can do. Or again, and in Florida, everybody's got a gun. Everybody's can't handle it, got a little knife or something in their pocket. So immediately when you start training, you start to say, I don't know who knows what. So I know for adults, at least I have that mindset of like, yeah, if there's something going on over here, I'm over here. Unless there's like I can help with somebody getting hurt. But if there are two men over here that are going to start scrapping over something stupid, I'm going to go the other way.
And again, in my world, it's all about de-escalation. We spoke about it on the IG Live, where like, I can't stand, and I'll say it again, I said it before, I love being a cop, dude. I'm so proud of good cops and what they do. I'm the biggest cop critic. If you're a piece of shit cop, or if you don't train, or you're like 100 pounds overweight, like I'm that dude that, and we all see these videos every day. You need to train. It's not like any other job. You're not sitting at a desk all day.
You are the front line of protection to the community.
Exactly. And there needs to be some pride in that. But also, when I get these young cops, bro, remember the day, and I've gotten in 25 fights. I'm like, you're an idiot. Like, where are you lacking?
You didn't even get paid.
Do you not, you don't have any de-escalation skills at all? You don't know how to communicate with people? So I'm proud of the opposite. I'm proud of the fights that I didn't get into because I can listen. I can de-escalate. I can take a breath. You know what I'm saying? If you have to, if it goes there, and it's happened, and I always say, like, if you get in my bubble, against you two, I'm shit out of luck, but you know what I'm saying. But
unless you grab my heel, then it was
there's certain points, and they're few far. they're
I'll tickle your feet.
Hey, I'm wearing pants. You're not allowed to heel hook.
That's
in the
right.
street, right.
That's right. So, but those are few and far between. You know what I'm saying? But talk, man. Listen.
Yeah.
Learn when to, like, it's not that serious. And again, I always say, few and far between. But there's no negotiator, Danny.
Yeah.
Because you cross lines we can't come back from. But more than, and it's crazy to me because I just qualified a few days ago for every year we have to qualify with all our toys, right? And absolutely we should know how to use our guns and all that stuff. But I just wish we had more de-escalation training, more active listening training, more.
How often are there? I mean, it's usually going to be like once a year, if that.
Yeah,
or it's only academy.
You should be able to do that via video,
if
Skype,
that.
Zoom.
I'm glad you brought that up because I talk about that all the time. I'm not going to wait for my agency to pay for my jiu-jitsu, pay for my gym, pay for this, pay
You're
for.
one of the few.
I just went to Invictus in Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
My agency gave me time. Meaning
All cops, right? All cops or
100 cops.
It's all cops.
40 black belts. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to take vacation. That's what I got from the agency.
Yeah.
I paid everything on my own. Me and my buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. I give him a lot of credit. He's never trained a day in his life, and that's one hell of a way to start. At Invictus.
At how many black belts?
40.
40 black belts.
But you have to invest in yourself, man.
Yeah.
Like, not like, and there's a lot of officers, again, in every profession. Same thing with teachers, same thing, anywhere else. Oh, they're not going to pay for me to go? I'm not going. Or, I don't need that. Or, I don't need this. Or, no, what class, bro? Like, no, I'm always trying to find out what class I can take that's going to make me better at my job.
Have the rules changed in your department, though? Like when we had Shane on from, it's Miami Gardens, right?
Miami Gardens.
Gardens. When we had him on, it's changing. And it's changing partially because like someone like him is now in the academy doing training, right? So like you said you're doing, or you're not doing jiu-jitsu training in your academy.
I'm not training defensive tactics, no.
Has that changed on the defensive tactics side of things? Like is jiu-jitsu resonating with your specific department like it is in like Miami?
Baby
Miami
steps,
Gardens?
but yes.
Yeah.
The thing is, so in Broward County, you can go to the Broward County Police Academy or Miami-Dade County. I know that in Broward County, it's changing a little bit. I'm not very familiar with what they're doing over there, but we're getting away from the baton, get back. You know what I'm saying? And more like ground fighting type stuff.
Do they still carry batons?
The extendables, not the cool ones.
Yeah.
That
That one. Yeah. But yeah, no, in Miramar, we're absolutely trying to transition more to, jiu-jitsu style, defensive tactics.
Yeah.
Because again, in the real world, and again, I haven't had 20 of those incidents, but I remember the last one where my zone partner, we had an incident and I did like a standing Kimura, just took the guy down. And the first thing that my zone partner tells the sergeant when he gets on scene, hey, Herrera saved you a blue team. A blue team is like when it gets physical, you have to do a certain report. And the guy was fine. He was fine. He was handcuffed, no problem. I didn't have to punch anybody, you know what I mean? So they're seeing the benefit of it overall, so baby steps.
Oh, before we move on, can I give a shout out? I recently found out that Jupiter PD has a contract with a local jiu-jitsu gym for all their officers to be able to go and train for free.
It's awesome.
Which is awesome. So they're a little bit north of me, so I'm trying to do the same with Palm Beach Gardens PD, and I believe Palm Beach Sheriff's Office does Lake Park, which are our two neighboring cities. So if you are in Palm Beach Gardens PD or PBSO near the Lake Park area, talk to me. I want to teach you jiu-jitsu.
You would, you know what would help? Academy Safe.
I've done all my
Show
stuff.
them that everyone in your gym is background checked.
Actually, one of my students is the DT trainer for Jupiter. And she was like, oh, this is how they got it passed. Here's the PowerPoint presentation. Here's all the info. And he's like, I'm going to email that to you.
Yeah.
Take that to the PDs and present. And I was like,
No, and that's awesome. And even at Henzo's Fort Lauderdale, right? Like, for the Miramar guys, again, it's about 35-minute drive. So I know closer to Miramar, there's a Start Jiu-Jitsu in Pembroke Pines. And they're very police friendly.
What is it called?
It's called Start Jiu-Jitsu.
Start,
yeah. They're part of the Henzo family.
Yeah. That's an SEO tactic. I want to start jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, exactly.
Smart.
Exactly. But they go through like Adopt a Cop. But even if Adopt a Cop is not accepting applications, they're gonna hook Miramar officers up. I know they do the same thing with Pines for like $50 a month. Same with Henzo and Fort Lauderdale.
That's part
you
of
get cops over there, like because I brought Adopt a Cop over to Henzo's. And again, even if the applications are full, if you're in that area, you go to Henzo's Fort Lauderdale, they're going to hook you up for being law enforcement. They're very, very law enforcement friendly. And
I wanted to go back to something you said before. I started to smile when you said you were talking about the baton. My dad was a cop in New York City.
I know.
70s, 80s, right? So they used to have a black, you know what a blackjack is?
Yeah.
For the car.
It's a leather thing with a nut. Like a metal.
Oh, yeah.
It's like this little thing. Like
you get hit with that, you're out for a while.
Yeah, I used to be like, Dad, what is this? He's like, if somebody doesn't want to comply, I mean, when I was a kid, he wasn't using the word comply.
Yes.
Yeah,
Whack him.
Bang, he goes, I knock him on the head, and then and then you put the handcuffs on. That was the thing back then. But he was plain clothes most of his career, so
how you put a hole in someone's skull with one of those things?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's funny. I'm thinking Michael Corleone in Godfather Part 1 when he gets, remember the cops beat him up? Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. If I recall correctly, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a blackjack, and I used to remember because like in my parents' room on his nightstand, it would be like his wallet. He had like always a bunch of change, right? Yeah. Back in the day when we actually used money, right?
Well, you
coins
could
and stuff
buy
like that.
Coffee for a nickel.
Yeah, so like my dad always like had like a freaking like leave the house with like a whole fucking
dad.
Yeah,
I'm not breaking bills.
Yeah,
you got 4 quarters, 4 dimes, 4 nickels.
He would have he had all his change, his wallet, and that blackjack, and I just always remember seeing it.
Blackjack's a good carry, just a quick flick.
I think there was a point where they made them illegal. They couldn't carry them anymore.
Oh. So sad.
But overall, law enforcement it's slowly but surely. But even they were talking about in Invictus, where like the first event, how many cops they had, and then the second event, and then you know what I mean. So I think that cops overall, and again, we all see these videos, and it's upsetting for me. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
The 4 or 5 officers and like 1 suspect, and you got tasers and weapons. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 on 1, you should not take anything out of your bat belt. You know what I mean? Like you
barely
should
be sweating.
Exactly. Seriously.
Yeah.
But it's there's a part of the ego thing where like I don't gotta learn that, bro. I got all these stuff. I'm like, cool, until I take it from you. You know what I mean?
Batman learned hand-to-hand combat.
Is there Adopt a Cop is based out of? Is it Texas?
I know.
Are they in Florida?
Aguilar who runs it.
Is there anybody here in Florida?
Right?
A Team Kennedy.
Is there anybody here in Florida?
I have an Adopt a Cop school.
No, but like, is there a rep like somebody
I
about the organization.
I dealt with Mitch directly.
Put me together with them.
Okay.
I'd love to have. I've followed them. I've interviewed other people who have the program, like they're a certified gym or whatever.
Eric,
Somebody that's a higher up that might want to come on and do this. Either if they're in Florida, we can always do it by Zoom. I prefer if like, hey, when you're in Florida, let's schedule something, and we schedule out far enough in advance that if they needed to make arrangements, we're not Rogan flying anybody out, but if they want to fly out, if they want to come out, we'll get them on.
We had dinner with them a few weeks back when I was making my rounds in Jersey and Pennsylvania, and Eric Smith, his name, and he, 10-year cop, had a terrible accident 5 years ago, so he's 5 years on medical leave trying to work his way back. God bless his spirit, man, because I can't even imagine what he's going through. He got hit by a car while on a call, of an accident. And, I mean, brain surgery and the whole thing. And incredible, him and his wife, Kate. And they've taken more of a leading role on Adopt a Cop. So I'll definitely put you in touch.
So two things we're going to talk about. You said you were making the rounds. Did you see the episode with Leighton Campbell, who wrote that book Over Your Shoulder, Your Happiness Equation? He's not a police officer, but he is a purple belt training out of, I don't remember the location. I know it's a Pedro Sauer location. I think in Fort Lauderdale or Plantation. You should connect with him, and like he's been doing a lot of promotion on his book. He just went back up to New York. He did like a reading.
Yeah.
He got on who's the Elvis Duran show.
Okay.
He knows. Does it? I look at her because I know my wife loves Elvis Duran. Do you listen to that at all or no? No. Okay. So the Elvis Duran show. There's a woman named Gandhi. They call her Gandhi. She lives down here, I think, or she did. And he was friends with her, and she got him on the show. So he was talking about his book on. I mean, that's a nationally syndicated show.
Yeah.
So not saying that he can get you on the show, but
you never know.
If you connect people that are kind of doing the same thing, plus there's jiu-jitsu that connects us all.
How do we get connected? I tried, right?
Yeah, right.
And it goes back to, it's crazy because now sometimes I can't shut up, but I grew up very shy.
Welcome to the party.
I grew up very shy, and my old man is like, I think about it now every day, but growing up, my old man would be like, what's the worst someone's going to tell you? No?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But literally every day I'm reaching out, and I said, listen, this person may ignore me, this person may respond, and, they may
the best thing that I because my life revolves around referral networking. I literally belong to a BNI group. That's what we do for business. That's how I get business for the marketing company. Myself and one of my salespeople that we're both in BNI groups. So I understand that world. Mm-hmm. So one of the best ways to do it is like I would open up like a text message chat, just introduce you guys, and then you take it from there.
Yeah.
But like that warm intro was like, oh shit. Look, his book he didn't ask me to put the book there. I put it there because I like the book. It's a great book. And he's my brother now, right? He does insurance. So we want to recommend him to people that need insurance on Academy Safe. So like him getting introduced to us, he got introduced to me because he met my salesperson at a BNI. He saw he's like, I know that logo. That's a jiu-jitsu belt in your logo for black belt. And she's like, yeah, the owner, this and that. And he goes, oh, wow, really? Oh, Jiu-Jitsu Dummies. Oh, God, I know that. Blah, blah, blah. And then we wind up having him on. So that's the way things happen. But I'll put you together in a text. You just never know. You guys are doing some of the same stuff right now. And if you're promoting or want to promote, maybe he winds up, saying, hey, call these guys, introduce you to somebody that helps you with that, right? So I mean, that's just the way that it works. And a warm intro is usually good. So I'll introduce you. But feel free to reach out to me. Say, hey, Milton told me to reach out. I wrote a book too. Blah, blah, blah.
I appreciate it. You just never know what happens. Your world is sales. And I always say, I don't have a salesman born in my body. But my world, as a police officer,
everybody's a salesman.
For me, it's all about connecting.
Yeah.
And especially, as a crisis negotiator, again, we talked about it earlier, being empathetic and just making those connections because,
And there's I forget, this is from a book, and I don't know what book, I can't remember. Everybody is a salesperson. You're talking to a kid that got into a fight, selling him on jiu-jitsu, right? You're selling your wife on what restaurant to go to later when you're heading home, right?
I had to sell my wife why she should marry me.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean?
Everybody,
she met you.
Everybody is a salesman. We are all constantly selling. Ben selling his school, his fight tape.
Yeah.
Again, you're talking to your significant other. There's always something going on. So like if you really think about it, right, when you're trying to convince somebody, aren't you being a salesperson? So there's this thing about like everyone's a salesperson. It just depends on what type of sale you're trying to make.
I have something similar where I say everybody negotiates.
Yeah.
Every day. Everyone negotiates.
Yeah, right. Where are we going to eat?
Yeah.
Where are we going to eat? Yeah.
I have an RSO question for you. So I went to like a more dangerous school.
Okay.
So you as the
You
RSO,
turned out great, by the way.
Thank you.
Well,
Firstly, I came out great. But like as the RSO, is part of what you do either as your position or as an individual, are you like kind of seeking out like the more troubled? Because there's obviously some kids that don't want help or don't want to like come
You're
back.
saying
from the dark side.
RSO? Is it SRO? Is it
SRO or RSO?
We
What-
say SRO.
SRO.
But I know what
Sorry.
you're saying.
I'm like,
I
what are you
flipped.
talking about? I was
So
about to like,
RSO
look,
oil is weed stuff. My bad. So, but as a resource officer, when you're looking at like a troubled youth or a kid that's kind of getting in and out of some shit, like what kind of keys you off that he's open to receiving help or even interacting with you? Because no matter what, you are a uniform, which in a way kind of makes you the enemy. You know?
Yeah.
So like,
how do you bridge that gap?
how do you know that this kid's even open to bridging the gap?
Yeah. So I'll give you two scenarios. So to that point, my first year as an SRO, I saw that as the kids got to know me, just in general encounters, the lunchroom, you know, a medical emergency. There was one kid I'll never forget, super street kid. They have a culinary program at the school, and he worked at that, you know, 5th period or whatever period it was. But he would always like mean mug me from afar. And I'd be like, all right, man, there'll be a day where I'll connect with him, you know. And I'd be like, hey, what's up, man? And he'd be like, oh, whatever, you know.
So like just the fact that he was looking at you, you're like, I'll get you soon.
Facts. So, and again, I know it's not personal, and that's again, you got to drop the ego. It's just a uniform. He had a medical emergency one day, and because he had a heart condition that nobody knew about or whatever.
Was there an AED?
There was. Well, we didn't need it at the time, but yeah. And when fire rescue came on scene, he saw that I was there the whole time. Check it, my man. You good? What do you need?
This
Yo,
is the same kid. Was that kid the mean mugging kid? Okay.
Same kid. And I say kid. He was probably 18 or whatever it was. You know.
That's a kid. When you're
yeah.
like
You're a kid,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're in your 30s to me, right?
Yeah,
Pretty much. Yeah.
Exactly. But he saw my interaction with fire, like genuinely, you know, curious, like what's going on with him? Is he going to be okay? Who do I got to contact? He saw the way I handled that situation for him every day after that. Hey, Herrera, you want to make something? I'm going to make food. You want something? You good? And it just was very, stuff like that's very rewarding because I'm like, here's a kid that didn't like me because of the uniform. And now every day he's asking me if I want food and when he was.
I think there's also like there's a little something in the subconscious that's just like I want to be that guy. Like I think that's the kid that winds up when you help somebody like that. They're like, man, I want to do that for somebody else. And ends up growing up, change his path and become a cop or become an EMT or whatever. I feel like those kids sometimes when they're doing that, that's the kid that's like crying out for a little bit of help.
A little bit.
you
Like,
know?
that's why they're staring at you.
Yeah.
Like Marilyn Manson said this crazily enough. He's like, the opposite of love is not hate. Because if you hate me, you probably think about me just as much as if you loved me.
Right.
It's apathy. So the fact that this kid's looking at you, he feels some kind of way. And as long as you're feeling something, I mean, it can get adjusted. You know, look at pro wrestling, heels and faces and the switching it back and forth. As long as you're invested, as long as you're feeling something about it, you can make adjustments to how they feel.
And it all goes back to how you treat people. And because, so when I started as an SRO there, so part of our job on street crimes, we would monitor the juveniles on probation. So I would go to the campus I'm at now. So when I started as an SRO and I'm wearing the royal blues, they're like, "Herrera, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I'm the SRO here now." They're like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? Like, so the relationships, some of them were already built. But another thing that I did starting my first year, I set up a basketball game. So I get a team of Miramar PD officers and the high school team at the school that I'm at, and we play. It's my favorite work day of the year, and because the reason for that was, as the kids would get to know me, they'll be like, "Man, Herrera, you're not like most cops, you know, this, that, and the other." And I'd be like, no, there's a lot like me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what you don't understand, this is just a job that I do. But, like, you know, we like the same music. We like tattoos. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just a dude who grew up and became a police officer, which, by the way, I thought would never happen. You know, but, you know, we grew up in that time of,
Were you a bad kid?
No.
He has tattoos, obviously.
No, I was a slick kid.
Yeah.
I was our generation.
What does that mean?
Just
Means I did shit that I didn't get caught.
thank you. Okay.
In that case, me too.
Thank you. All right. There was no
Me
social media
three.
back then, but we weren't with Polaroids showing everybody what we were doing. You know what I mean?
You first. You way older.
Yeah. But that basketball game, so now, like, you know, every year it's in December. This year will be the 9th annual one. It's called Ballin' for Unity. And what they see is that, like, man, there's a lot of cops like Herrera that like the same music and, like, you know, and have tattoos. And like, if you saw them all out of uniform, you'd never guess they're cops. We're just dudes, you know?
Do you find that, like, being yoked and heavily tattooed almost helps them relate to you in a way?
This guy's hitting all the amazing points.
Yeah.
The tattoo policy just changed about a year or so ago, and they asked a department email, the department-wide email went out for, like, if you got a case of why you want to present this, write a memo to the chief. 2 people wrote one. Me and my sergeant at the time, who I told you should write one because he's also sleeved up. And in that, I mentioned about how tattoos had helped me so much as a detective in street crimes connect with people. Because again, and so when I would interview suspects, right, like I would interview everybody. And the first 5 or 10 minutes, I'm not even opening my case file. I'm just picking something, your shirt, your tattoos, whatever it is. And I'm, again, building connections. And even though back then we had to cover it, oh, dope, man, what's that? What does it mean? Bro, I got this amazing thing here. I'll pull it up, and we would connect.
I'm breaking the rules for you.
Yeah,
bro.
you know what I'm saying? So, but 10 minutes later, you're just talking to a guy. You're talking to Danny, not Detective Herrera with the Miramar Police. You know what I'm saying? And
You're building rapport.
And you're building rapport, and you're building connections. So I wrote about that in the memo. It ended up, not because of my memo, but it ended up getting approved, so we don't have to cover them anymore.
It makes sense.
And yeah.
I think, like, when I think about that point, when I see somebody, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's just a regular dude,
Yeah. And there's still some agencies that, the chiefs are like older school, and they don't think it's,
being so widely.
It wasn't
accepted.
always like that. I mean, when I was
Maybe
younger, it was like
15
tattoos.
years.
They must be bad. And they're bikers and they're gang members.
I was obsessed at like 10, 12, and I'm from like a Jewish family, so they're a massive no-no. So even just bringing it up,
you can't
was
be
like,
buried in a Jewish cemetery, right? Like,
okay,
right? That's part of the thing, right?
We can get into all that.
Yeah.
In my household, it was a big no-no.
Yeah.
It was a big no-no in my household. Oh. And now with my kids, and it's funny because we had this talk the other day with we had a birthday dinner for my wife, and the whole family was together. And I go, hey, Pops, remember?
Happy birthday.
And
Happy birthday.
And I was bringing up how, like, when my kids were little, my dad would be like, wait till they get old and they want to put ink on their skin. And I go, no, Pops, I'm going to have a talk with them. What do you want? Why do you want it? Where do you want it?
Yeah.
And then if I'm on board, I'm going to get you the best artist I can find. And he would be like, bullshit. You're not going to do that. Watch and see. Our daughter, 18th birthday, went on a family field trip to a tattoo shop. Got her a great artist. She got her first one. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I think you have to, the times are different. It's more acceptable now. Yeah. And again, like, if it means something to you, who am I? I'd rather you talk to me about it than I hide it from you.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I always, when I first started, I have a couple of tattoos. They're always, because of business, I felt like if I had tattoos that were like all the way down, like it was going to hinder getting an order or something. Like, I mean, we're talking 20 years ago. Now I don't care, but my first one was up here, my daughter's name. My second one was in here on purpose, long enough shirt. They can't really see it.
Me.
And this is the one that I did where it was just like the most in your face. Yeah. And like, in the beginning, I would cover it up, like going to a meeting, let me wear a long sleeve shirt. Now I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
If you're really going to judge me on this, I mean, it winds up just having jiu-jitsu on your arm opens up a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you do jiu-jitsu? Yeah. And then it's like, oh, that's my EKG for my heart attack. And then it's like a whole conversation. Yeah. And like you said, you had your, you're talking to interviewing somebody and you have it, the folder closed. It's connecting with them. Yep. We're talking about that. And then it's like, oh, hey, we didn't even talk about business yet. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is right? You wind up, but we've developed a rapport. So for me, it winds up becoming a conversation piece.
So to answer your question, extremely beneficial, because every week I'll have a student be like, Herrera, that's dope ass work.
Yeah.
Like that. And I'll show them on the gram, like my artist and whatnot, and you know what I'm saying? And we'll talk about it. And I always tell them, we talked about it earlier, don't go cheap. No, but this one could do it too. I go, don't go cheap, brother.
Never go
cheap. You're going to mess it up, I
got one cheap tattoo, and now it is a very dark cover-up.
All right, listen, we got a couple of listener questions. I keep on missing these because we wind up going long, and I don't want to go too long today. All right, so we have 2 questions. First one is Bobby Jackson. Do you know who Bobby Jackson is?
I know Bobby Jackson.
Okay, Bobby Jackson.
Yeah.
Says, my sister, now a brown belt, has been competing in BJJ for 10 plus years. She's also on her 2nd year in law enforcement. Any tips on what mindset she should have when approaching a hands-on scenario at work to avoid any unnecessary risk from defaulting to her competition jiu-jitsu muscle memory? That's a really good question.
It's a really good question.
Like, right, you're competing and doing sport jiu-jitsu, but then you're out there trying to put the handcuffs on somebody, I
always tell people, maybe this is not a popular answer, but in the heat, again, few and far between for me, but in those moments that have happened, you cannot worry about what's the chief going to say, what's the captain going to, the consequences. You're in survival mode.
Yeah.
So with her experience, much more than mine, she knows, what she should know what moves are appropriate for police.
Sure.
We talked about earlier about the heel hook thing. How that came about is because I love Kimuras, and my professor at the time would ban me from doing Kimuras. Like this week,
Stop doing the same thing that you do. You go
right, and I would tell him it's not because, and he was a retired.
My coach called it spamming.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Stop spamming.
And he was a retired federal agent, and he would say, "I know why you're doing it." And I go, "Yeah, it's not that I want to be like a one-trick pony, but in police work, like I'm not arm-barring people. You know what I'm saying? Like Kimuras
Don't
are
limit
very
yourself. You can if you want.
but for police work, Kimuras are very very popular. They're practical. So
Yeah, old school hammerlock.
Yeah. But for that, I mean. She'll know what moves are not going to work on the street, and we've had these talks before with Bobby. But just in general, you gotta be instincts. You can't worry about the consequences, because in police work, and I'll tell you this, as long as you can justify your actions and you don't lie.
Yeah.
Police officers, and it kills me. Police officers get jammed up not because of what they did, because they lied about it.
Yeah.
I've had internal affairs investigations. Nothing came up of them,
Yeah.
but if I would have lied about something, that would have made things worse.
Yeah.
So just
I would recommend to her too, regardless of what belt you are,
mm-hmm.
going to do seminars that are run by police officers specifically to defensive tactics.
Shout out
for
EFC,
police
Jay Wads.
EFC,
Go check them out.
Jiu Jitsu 5.0. I don't know if like
Invictus,
Adopt a Cop.
Yeah.
Do they do like seminars specifically for cops, or it's just more about getting cops into the
they're going to start
jiu-jitsu?
to. They're going to start to. Yeah.
I mean, look, they're. I don't want to say they're a dime a dozen, but I feel like I've had the good ones on. I've had multiple times. I think EFC's been on a couple times. I believe Jason from Jiu Jitsu 5.0, he's been on. I mean, these guys retired.
Yeah.
He retired because Jiu Jitsu 5.0 took off, and they have an app, and they have like you can go on, and you could be a police officer, go on the app, and look at different moves. I did my first police my first seminar for police officers. I was invited because I was actually doing the graphics for the guy that was running it.
Nice.
Brennan De Oliveira.
Yep.
I don't know if you know him up in Jacksonville.
Jiu-Jitsu,
Is that BJJ Cops?
BJJ Cops,
is his brand.
I did one of his in Pines.
Yeah, it was. I mean, so I know that there were a couple of cops that had a problem with what he was teaching, because he's teaching you a lot in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But when I talked to him, it's just like, yeah, I'm teaching, and then the hope is that either you're a cop and you get into jiu-jitsu or continue this education. But I'm doing this seminar. I remember there was school resource officers there. There was I think there was a husband and wife team, and they were both school resource officers, and they were and it was just like, it was amazing to watch them go from like not knowing anything to at the end of the class, like, okay, now somebody resists. They put us in groups of 3, and they're like, hey, somebody resist, and things like that. He was like, it's important for them. This isn't it. This wasn't your education for the rest of your career. It's like, I want to get you excited about, it's just a little taste. And then, oh my God, I didn't know. Again, it always goes back to, I don't know what I don't know. Yeah. And when I find out what I don't know, it's like, oh shit, I want more. And that's, human nature for a lot of people, especially people who like to improve themselves. So now go and get more jiu-jitsu, or go to more seminars at very least. So that's one suggestion I would make to her, regardless of where I don't care if you're a black. I mean, I went to my first one at brown belt, and I'm like, shit, man, the Kimura takes you right here, and then now I mount you from the back. Like, who does a Kimura and then mounts from the back, right? You don't typically not doing that. You got the Kimura, you finish the Kimura, but in this situation, like getting it, holding, handcuff, getting on, kind of holding it with your thigh, you're holding the arm in place. I'm just like, I was never at a regular class. I know it seems so basic, but I was never in a class in my regular jiu-jitsu gym that we ever like went to that mount from the position. It just wasn't, and we weren't teaching cops. So, I would absolutely suggest her, like, continue your education outside of the gym in like officer specific defensive tactics. Of course. And there are plenty now. There are plenty of places to go.
It's unfortunate that some of these, sometimes to what you were saying earlier, like now they're arguing with each other, and it's like, that's why I love like Chad Lyman and stuff like that, and Bradley Barnes were like in Invictus, where they're like, hey, look, to your point, like, this is a way. And I always say when I instruct, whether it's, again, I don't instruct jiu-jitsu, but crisis negotiations, de-escalation, like, if you take one thing from this class, and then you take one thing from this person and the one thing from, and then you make it your own. That's productive, right? So with these, cops that do jiu-jitsu stuff, like, I want to see you, and a lot do, work together. Don't battle. I know it's business and whatever, but there's things to pick up from everybody. Is bottom line.
Do that. Continue that education, and it's like there's always something to like jiu-jitsu. The beauty of it, and for some it might, I don't want to say frustrating, but like it's a good frustration of like, shit, there's this new move that everybody's doing. I got to learn this thing. There's never like it's constantly evolving.
Boring.
Yeah, it's like there's always something new. There's always somebody that go. I just watched BJJ After 40 sent a Mike Bidwell. He sent into the group chat that we have from the Costa Rica retreat that I went to. We still have that chat open with everybody that was there, and every once in a while he drops something in, and he does a move that I do from like a failed north-south choke, like, literally laying on top. I've got you, I'm choking you here. Maybe you get your hands in and push me away. And then there's this transition on the side where you grab their arm and you're laying next to them and you're pulling up on the arm.
Nice.
So he showed it with a little hook to the foot, and it turns into, he's got like two variations, and basically you wind up getting into a heel hook position.
You had me at hello.
Right. So like, it's like, oh, you hooked the leg. I always throw my leg over the body. I know I'm not explaining this right. People aren't going to get this, but
from a north-south?
From a failed north-south,
okay.
I have to get up. Now I'm laying next to you. I have your arm here. I'm pulling up with the arm, right? So I'm on top of you. You're laying down,
like
and
a
I want
monoplata kind of
yeah.
thing.
So, but if from a failed north-south, now that arm is out on that side, and maybe they're trying to push me up, and all I got to do is get it under here, and I'm holding on the elbow. Now I'm laying next to you. I throw my leg over, and I pull up on the arm. Right, that's one submission.
Yeah.
Well, when he throws the leg over, he hooks his outside leg under the knee, so he's got control of that leg. So I've got one leg between your legs here, but he's got this leg hooked with the other, so that he can drag it up to him. And now he's in a he's in a leg lock situation.
You can do stuff like that from like long step with the gi. It's way easier with pants, but you just can't heel hook knee bar instead.
There you go.
Yes.
But look, I do that move all the time from a failed north-south. I get in that position. It's my it's my transition. It's like, if I don't get you with the north-south, or I bait somebody who's got like a really big neck, I'm like, I'm never getting this because they've got like no neck. There's no room for my shoulder.
Are you talking about me?
No, I haven't done that. So again, now I just learned something. I'm like, never even thought about hooking that leg. It was never even a consideration for me now to get into what we call like an ashi situation, right?
Yeah.
So, but
I
again,
love things with no finish line. I talk about it often. Relationships, we're going to be 18 years married this year. If tomorrow I'm like, you know what, like, I don't want to try no more. Like, we're good enough.
Yeah.
We're going to fail at some point.
Yeah.
I relate a lot of the same things, completely different endeavors, but I've, worked out for like 30 years now. And
that's bragging.
And
yeah.
No, I always joke I've been doing it wrong for 30 years, but, but like, I'll find a new way of doing like a lat pull down. And it's like, yo, this is dope. You know what I mean? I didn't know this. Or a new way of doing this, that, and the other.
How do you feel about full range partials?
What the hell does that mean?
So like you hit your full range and then you go like half.
Oh,
or you can do the top half.
Yeah,
so
when you're fatigued, there's some benefits to that.
Popping, getting them to pop.
Yeah. There's some
I'm new to
benefits
muscles. I don't know.
But the point is, I mean, obviously, and I told that buddy of mine in Invictus, because he's never trained before, after the week, and I said, who asked the most questions all week? It was all the black belts.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, I'm good.
You know what? It's also because we're not scared. Like, if you have a black belt that's like not scared to be like, I don't know that. I got my black belt, and my school did not teach a lot of. It was mostly gi, so we didn't learn a lot of the leg locks and the heel hooks. And I'm there going, I don't know this stuff, guys. Like, give me some extra attention.
Yeah.
There's a coach at my school that I'll like follow around when he teaches something, because a lot of times, sometimes the black belt, hey, like, help me out. Hey, make sure they're doing this right. So I'll follow him around, make sure I got it right, and then maybe help somebody.
Right.
But I'm not scared to tell. I don't do that. But hey, there's things that I know that you didn't know.
Exactly.
I got guys that don't know how to get out of lockdown. They're sitting there like throwing their leg around, and I'm like, see, I have something that you don't know. So, teach me. You have to be open to it. But I think that's the thing about a lot of black belts we've been taught, get rid of the ego, get rid of the ego. And after 10, 12, 15 years, you have a black belt, like, we do let it go.
But also,
like,
if they're black belts that
sponge.
run the room, you can see a guy that has a question and doesn't want to say anything, and then you watch the reps, and you're kind of like, is this your question?
Yeah.
And then you can just kind of ask it for him.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna start to wrap up. We're gonna do the drill down.
Can I have one more SRO question?
Oh, sure. Okay.
SRO, not RO.
I said SRO this
I'm
time.
about to say.
SR.
So I'm assuming you've been an SRO officer for quite a
I'm
few
in
years
my
at this
ninth
point?
year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you had the personal experience where you like get one of these kids and you can actually literally watch their path correct through some kind of influence that you've had, either in conjunction with the school, their education, work, or like even jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. And it's crazy because I'm not a military guy, but I talk about the military a lot with them. Because again, a lot of these students, their home lives are disasters. It is what it is. And they don't have that male, that male figure. And a lot of them kind of like they feel stuck. They don't know where to go. And I'll have recruiters come to the school and talk to them. And it's super rewarding, man. When you saw this kid who was headed this path and then they come back from basic training or they came back
in their uniform too, right?
Yeah, man.
And they come and look for you, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
How cool is that? That's
No,
feel awesome.
and I had a recent one. He's playing professional basketball. I think somewhere in Orlando. It's kind of like like the Savannah Bananas, the
it's
baseball.
like a feeder team, the AAAs.
Yeah, something like that, right? So this young man, I won't say his name, but I'll give you a quick story. He ends up busting off a couple of rounds with a BB gun one afternoon. Now, for Florida State statute purposes,
A gun's a gun.
A gun's a gun.
Really?
And it was the first or second annual Ballin' for Unity. So the way it works is when the incident happens, if it gets brought to my attention the day after, whatnot, at that point the kid's suspended. He's not there for a physical arrest, so we do what's called a not in custody arrest. Everything's the same, except I'm not physically taking you to jail at that point. I'm filing everything with the state attorney's office. And so I had to file the thing with, and I like this kid. He's one of my favorites, and he was the best basketball player on the high school team. And the warrant comes out. So when you do a not in custody, with time when the state attorney approves it, the warrant ends up popping up in the system. The warrant comes out the day of the basketball game. I tell the coach, who was like a teacher, behavior specialist or whatever, hey man, look, the warrant for this guy came out today, but we're not addressing that right now. Like, we're playing the game. You know what I'm saying? I'll deal with it later. After the game, I call him aside and I go, hey, look, man, because obviously throughout the process, when he came back from suspension, I told him what I had to do, and I was very honest with him. And again, it's all just honest and respect. So after the game, I pulled him aside. I go, hey, listen, the warrant popped up this morning, but look how much I like you, dude, that I was not going to deal with that, or have someone come and pick you up or whatever before the game. You were going to play this game. We've been looking forward to it. A little trash talking back and forth. We got the W, whatever. But
yeah, punk kid.
Yeah, right.
Balling.
So I always do the games on Thursdays because Fridays, like, the higher ups don't work. So, they work super long days, Monday to Thursday, and I want them to come out to the game. So I remember it's always a Thursday. And I go, listen, go home today, come back tomorrow, let me know how you want to deal with it. These are your options. You can turn yourself in at headquarters. You can have me do the paperwork. I can't transport people because they need me on campus after Stoneman Douglas. I have to have another officer come get you. And just let me know tomorrow what you want to do. Immediately, he's like, Herrera, I'll deal with you. We'll do it tomorrow morning. I said, all right, bet. He comes in the morning. You have anything on your brother? Nah, man, I give everything to my girl. I said, perfect. There was still a lot of traffic coming in, of kids coming in. And I go, hey, wait a little bit. We'll wait till it dies down. Things die down. I go, okay. I go, look, man, I got a cuff. You got to put you in the car, but meet me out in the corner. So my school, kind of like the front seems like the back, and you're facing I-95. And I go to that corner by the fence by 95, and I'll meet you there in a few. I don't want to like cuff him in front of the whole school, whatever. All these little things. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Sure enough, I get there, he's there. I take care of it. I get the road officer who, at the time, worked in that area to come pick him up. And, young girl comes out the car, and he's like, damn, Herrera, who's that? And I'm like, she's the nicest girl in Miramar, man. Look how much I like you, brother. I got the nicest girl in Miramar to come get you. And he started laughing. He's like, yo, you my dog. It happened to be just a girl who worked the area. You know what I'm saying? But he doesn't know that. You know what I'm saying? And he went. He had to get arrested. Well, when the trial and all that stuff starts happening, I wrote a letter to the state attorney's office for this kid. And I always put in my packets, like, for whatever attorney gets my cases, give me a call because I want to have a conversation about the case. A lot of officers don't do that. They just leave it to the state attorney's office. No, I want to know if I'm pushing for a felony, what you may think is a misdemeanor, let's talk about it. Or in something like this, let's give this kid a little bit of grace. You know, he's a good kid. He's done all these things that I have personally witnessed. He's a good kid. He just made a mistake. And I wrote a letter on his behalf. And he came last school year, you know, with his little jersey. He's a dad now. And that's what
He says this kid is playing ball. He's playing
professional basketball.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
So that was, you know, saying stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we do need to start to wrap up. We can't do the drill down.
Sorry.
We can't do the drill down. I'll ask you the one good question. Do you do any gi? You said you do a little bit more gi now?
No, both.
All right.
No gi, 2 days each a week.
So we're going to ask you just the most important question of all our drill down questions is, do you or do you not watch your jiu-jitsu belt?
I do, but I got to be honest, because I knew this was coming. No, I just started like 4 or 5 months ago. And I'm going to tell you why.
Because you heard me call everybody stinky, right?
But also, and it wasn't about like forgetting anything. I'm like 5 years in, what do I know anyway, right? It was, I'm going blank on the last name, Chris, Dirty Dozen.
Chris Howder.
Yeah.
Thank you. When I started jiu-jitsu,
The guy that never remembers names, just remember.
Yeah, so
I mean, it's a bigger name.
When I started jiu-jitsu and I'm going down the rabbit hole of like documentaries and all this stuff, I heard him talk about like, I think that, you know, everybody should have a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears from everyone they rolled. I'm like, that sounds awesome. And so like, I went into that. 4 or 5 months ago, I'm like, I'm 43. I already had like minor, like little, you know, skin things. I'm like, this is stupid. Like, I don't know why I'm doing this. And I'm like, I'm gonna start washing the belt. So
yeah, it's a great theory. It's a great theory till your jujitsu. You see your jujitsu belt moving in the corner. You're like, it's like, hey, you ready for class? No, and then it freaking smells. Yeah, I look like these days. I've said this before. Like I like to, the black belt's just a little different. It's, you know, for most people, you know, I don't know if I'll be alive for a coral belt. It's probably the last belt that I'm going to get, a like, promotion belt.
Right.
So I do want the one that I got to last long. Even though it came from somebody that I don't really have a lot of respect for anymore, it's still the belt that I tied around my belt, my waist. So I want it to last longer.
Right.
But again, I've always had 2 belts. And if Flow and Roll sent me kind of like the wrong belt, I would be switching out with 2 belts and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But I do want it to last longer. You know, so I use Neutral Zone clean spray on it, or Lysol. I kind of go back and forth between 2 because I'm trying to conserve the spray. Yeah. I actually use the Neutral Zone spray at the end of class. I spray myself, wipe myself down, and then I get in the car and
Neutral Zone.
So,
but you don't want to catch anything. Sure.
But yeah, that's at least wash it once in a while. But Lysol, there's nothing wrong with Lysoling it. The blood is still in there. The particles are still in there.
Yeah.
All right, so look, I got some. We're going to shout out to Leo Optics. You can choose one of these. So if you want to try them on, you got your wife over there that'll tell you which one you like. That will never
tell me a lie. She'll tell me what looks good and what doesn't.
Those 2 are bamboo, right? This is more of a traditional sunglass. Don't worry about the red, but if you are somebody who likes sunglasses and you buy them from Leo Optics, you can request. Hey, put the camera on me real quick. You can request the stripe here. You can request your belt rank, right? This is, you know, typically black. I mean, this is the one. They're going to come like this if you don't ask. With nothing wrong with being any belt and having that red stripe in there, which is kind of cool.
Awesome.
But those are more curved. That one's more curved. These are a little bit more straight.
I think I like this one. Give it to me straight, babe. Those are more me.
Okay. All right, so
there you go.
That's yours. Here you go. Here's a case.
Appreciate that, bro.
So that's from Leo Optics. Shout out.
I'm not a poser when it has this, right? I'm not like, you know.
No, that's what I said. They're coming like that by default. So, but you can if you wanted to purchase
goals.
The thing. Like you're not a white belt going, hey, put a white stripe on there, right?
Yeah, right.
So
I mean,
it's you know you're going to be there one day anyway. But yeah. So a little again. Shout out to Leo Optics, the go-to brand for sunglasses and apparel, featuring their unique bamboo sunglasses.
Very awesome.
Born in Southern California, their products embody the BJJ lifestyle that we all know and love. Visit Leo Optics. That's Leao. Leo. Do you say it better than me?
Leo.
LeoOptics.com. And use code JJD to get 10% off your order. They are also supporters of Academy Safe. What size rash guard do you wear?
Oh man, it depends on the brand.
Yeah.
He's an A3.
Normally, you just buy online. No, but like rash guard.
So it depends. It's either like XXL or like, you know what I mean, or extra large, depending on like I just got.
You're an XL for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna put this one on. This is Leo Optics has. I have a couple. That's a large that I brought, but I wasn't 100% sure. It runs small, so I know I already can see you'd be busting out of it. I can't.
That's his size.
I have to wear the double. I have to wear the double XL. I wear XL and everything else on Leo Optics. I have to wear the double XL because it's a little small. So that's your gift. And if you like hats, You grab, there are a couple of Flow and Roll hats here as well.
Oh, nice.
You can grab any of those. There's a whole bunch behind there. Grab whatever color you want.
Big hat guy.
I'm forever in a hat if I leave the house. So again, thank you to Leo Optics for the sunglasses. Thank you to Flow and Roll for always keeping us in their gear. BJJ Box, we should be getting a new box soon. We'll do a little unboxing. You can check them out at thebjjbox.com, and you get 20% off your first box with code JJD20. Also, shout out to Laheel.com, right? We got them here. Can't see. Whoop. We had them off camera. Sorry. All right, so we've got some of the pills. I've got 2 of these. I've been using the CBD on my arm, which is super helpful, especially at night. Throw the CBD on, go to bed. Don't let pain or injuries hold you back. Schedule your free in-person or telemedicine consultation today with Laheel.com. That's LEHEAL.com. Let them help you get back to what you love to do, which is for us, stand on the mats, right? Mention the podcast, get 20% off your first treatment.
Welcome to a new age in wellness, healing, and recovery. Laheel Biogenics is at the forefront of new and natural methods of treatment. Friendly staff will take you through the process comfortably and help you optimize your body, heal injuries, and recover from physical stress and traumas. From red light therapy, laser treatment, to peptides, and much more. Check out Laheel.com. Be your best. Get Laheel.
Special thank you to the crew over at Flow and Roll for all their support. Flow and Roll is renowned for their incredible no-gi rash guards, shorts, and leggings. Flow and Roll has quickly become the premier custom apparel provider for academies big and small throughout the United States. Reach out today to discuss your custom order and ask about their incredible pre-order program. You can send an email to flowandroll@gmail.com or visit their Instagram at flow_n_roll and shoot them a direct message. And yes, they can create an awesome custom gi for your academy as well. Visit flowandroll.com to check out their awesome designs, and remember, you'll get 20% off your purchase of t-shirts, rash guards, or gis with code JJD.
Is your business getting lost online? Black Belt Digital Marketing is a full-service digital marketing agency that helps you get found, get leads, and grow. We specialize in local and website SEO, so your business stands out when customers search. Our website SEO makes sure your site loads fast, ranks high, and stays ahead of AI-driven search, so customers find you first. More visibility, more clicks, more customers right when they're ready to buy. Grow your business online with Black Belt Digital Marketing. Visit bbdigitalmarketing.com or call 9542-204932 today.
Me? Well, I would say this. I'm going to go a little off script right now.
I feel like I'm on Ben's podcast. Every time I see everybody, they're always wearing sunglasses. I was going to ask you that before, but will you tell me after?
So I want to get involved with the universities in my area. Palm Beach State, Palm Beach Atlantic. There's a Nova by me. My coach was up at UCF, and he actually got a jiu-jitsu program within the college. And I've seen them at the University of South Florida in Tampa, where they have like a team that kind of travels the state. And since I have at least 2 universities within 5 miles of my gym, I want to try and get with some of these universities. So if you are a student, faculty, staff, whatever, at Palm Beach State, Palm Beach Atlantic, or any of the other universities in Palm Beach County, talk to me. I want to help you develop a jiu-jitsu team that we can kind of take around, blossom the game, get the colleges involved, maybe do some intramural like matchups.
Like Borio did up at UCF, which I met him at the MayaCon, which was really cool. Awesome. Were you in the room when we met?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah. He was there for a little bit. I think he was watching the ISKA event. He wasn't there for Maya. He wasn't there for the Maya side of things, but I got to meet him. Rob knew him. We went up to him.
Cool. He came to a seminar over at Henzel's. Great guy, man. Awesome. But I saw the whole YouTube thing, what he's doing at UCF. Amazing.
So,
if we can get intramural jiu-jitsu in college, then the chances of, say, getting jiu-jitsu in like the Olympics or something like that gets that much better.
You're going to love me right now because what you need to do is you need to talk to Paul McCarthy, who runs the UCLA program, who is on Academy Safe. He has his own program, and we are getting all of the UCLA programs, all of the coaches and assistant coaches through the Academy Safe program, background checks, things like that. They do a lot of it already, so they're working with us. He's already listed. So talk to me. I can make an intro, and he can tell you. Part of what he's doing is he's helping us develop that program. Like, how do we get colleges into our system? So we're using UCLA as that first the model to then. He's going to help us get into other colleges. You know, he knows the other colleges that have programs like he does. So he runs the martial arts program, and I believe there's about 20 different classes, intramurals, regular classes that you can take all there. So you need to talk to him.
Sure.
It would be great if you, when you're finished, to introduce you as two Academy Safe members that are accredited.
Of course.
And then put you guys together. Okay?
Definitely.
So remind me about that.
Yes,
Don't let me forget. And don't let me forget to make to reach out to put you together with Leighton Campbell. So anything else?
No,
shout outs?
we're good. We're good.
All right. So appreciate you, brother.
No, thank you.
Thank you for doing this. If we miss it, look, I always tell people if we didn't touch on something, you know, you can always come back. It's great if you have anybody, you know, love talking about the police side of jiu-jitsu as well. So if you had anybody else that wants to come out, you know, there's room for 4 people here. We can always have you back on. So if we missed anything, you know, we do it again in a couple.
Can I just tell people where to find more about my mission?
Absolutely.
So on Instagram, it's Officer Danny Safe. Okay, and there you get a good idea of what my mission is, because ultimately I just want to serve as many people as I can in as many ways as I can.
And the book is available on Amazon?
The book is available on Amazon.
I know when I've searched just Officer Danny, you immediately come up.
That's
like
awesome.
all you have to do is Officer Danny, and it immediately
awesome.
it's like the first, you know how like it starts to put the information in, it immediately puts you out there. So check out the book. One of the things that you always want to ask people to do is to leave your review. The more reviews you get on Amazon, the better the book will do.
Absolutely.
So don't forget to do that. I don't if you're doing it already.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
And yeah, man, we can. Are there any plans to do anything after this, like to do another book or to do anything after? Or
right now, I want to focus on this one, and ultimately, you know, my goal is to, you know, teach more. Again, that was the reason for the book, to reach people that I can't, you know, physically, but I want this to lead to more speaking engagements, more, you know, teaching at principal conferences, teacher conferences, and not only on school safety, which I'm very passionate about, but I'm also very passionate on de-escalation, crisis negotiations, and, you know, things like that, overcoming adversity. So
very cool,
the book has been an amazing business card to get me to talk to
keep on doing the podcast,
like
man.
Guys,
the podcast and getting the content from the podcast and cutting stuff and putting it yourself. We'll put out stuff, but you know, doing it yourself too. Like take the podcast, go into Opus clips, drop it in, and then put the clips that you like the most.
Appreciate that.
All right, so let's we got to get out of here. So check us out at Jiu Jitsu Dummies for all the ways to watch, listen, and support. You can check out my personal IG is Uncle Milty BJJ. You did everything. You want to take fight? Did you say fight
Social
tape?
media. You can follow me online at MMA Coach Ben on Instagram. Yeah, for a second, because I was going over all 5 of them.
Got 15
I
different
know.
IGs.
If you're interested in combat sports, jiu-jitsu, mixed martial arts, Muay Thai, follow MMA Coach Ben. If you are a cornerman or cutman, fighttape.us. And if you are in the North Palm Beach area and you're looking to learn how to kick the shit out of somebody in a sporting or non-sporting fashion, check out ATT, PBG, American Top Team Palm Beach Gardens, and I will see you at the gym.
That's a good sales pitch. Thank you for watching and listening, everybody. Peace, love, jiu-jitsu.